Hello, everybody. Welcome back to Season of War. Trying to do my best Jordan impression for tonight. You got myself here, Ridge, and I got Carl here helping me out with the stream tonight. So, how's it going, Carl? How are you?
Doing good, like always.
Awesome, awesome. So, just wanted to get it through the little intro stuff. So, this, as most of you know, this was the Grand Clash in Shawinigan. So, just in between Quebec and Montreal, there we filmed the 5 games. So, this is a super exciting one because Jordan got paired into Pat East, who is actually the winner of the Grand Clash last year. So,
Yeah.
yeah, Carl, what do you think about that one?
I mean, that's a crazy matchup round one, right? You hate to see it, but you love to see it as a viewer. I also want to mention that it was 116 players after the drops on day one, so a massive tournament.
Yeah, this is a big one. This is the ones that lots of ITC points, just so many good lists. Like looking at it before, there's a lot of the Montreal and Quebec guys. They play a lot of Warhammer there. I think there was like a stat that they're like number one for sales of
Of
Warhammer.
Warhammer products, yeah, crazy.
Yeah, nuts, man. So this was just great to see like two just top end players. So I'm super excited to commentate this tonight. So the game one actually. Do you want to take us through the battle plan?
Sure. As you can see, there's three objectives in the middle. They are playing tectonic interference. Not my favorite, but it is what it is. So there's three objectives in the middle. You roll off prior to the start of a battle round, and one of those three objectives will count for 2, and then the others will count for 1. So a maximum of 4 points if you go for the primary. Of course, your battle tactics gives you 2, and then yeah, that's how she goes. So the two armies that we see here is Jordan with his Deepkin, who he said was a B tier army. I just want to say, and the last battle report, yeah, here he is taking it to a massive tournament, and he's facing off Patrick East's Seraphon Thunder Lizards, which you're intimately familiar with. So
I am indeed, and I can't believe the shot at Jordan so early. I love it. Awesome. So yeah, we'll get started. So I guess we'll go over the list first. So let's maybe I'll just chat about Patrick's list first. So this is one of the strongest lists in honestly AOS 3 right now. Like very good. It's something very similar to what I've kind of dabbled with. Essentially, my list has had a couple dragons instead, but it's so Engine of the Gods. You can see it in all your Thunder Lizard lists. The interesting one here is the Incandescent Rectrices, so that lets the Engine of Gods come back to life on a 4-up. So there's just so many good artifacts that they have. Stegodon, Skink Chief, Prime War Beast for an extra attack, Cloak of Feathers, +4 move, fly, all that good stuff, and then Beastmaster mount trait. Slan, a Skink Priest, a Skink Star Priest, and another Skink Priest. Because yeah, so if you heard my recap, you know just having the second Priest is just so huge. And then just 2 10s as Skinks for battle line, and then 30 Skinks. So really good. The Skinks, yeah, just having kind of a bit of everything, and then 2 Bastillons with solar engines as well. All that's wrapped up in a double Warlord, so you can get both artifacts, an extra CP whenever you want, and then the Alpha Beast pack, which allows a little pregame move. So yeah, just a great list.
Yeah. Something that you'll see fairly often if you're playing in near the top tables of tournaments. I do wanna say that they are already starting because we're a little bit I don't know, slow here. So the first things first, Jordan does not choose to reverse the tide. Jordan did end up finishing first, and so he gives Pat first drop and gave Pat the first turn. Not the shooting of the Bastaldon is something to be feared, but when you can only shoot the closest thing, you have kind of limited choice. So he's done that.
Yeah, and he notable here, he's not choosing to flip the tides here. So that's another yeah, it's always a when to do that and when not to. So
Yeah, it's
mhm.
there's no teleport, so you can measure out how far your opponent can go, and I think Jordan's going for more of a measured approach here. He doesn't have to go all in turn 1, and then turn 2 he doesn't have to fight all at the same time. They'll probably smash into each other turn 3 or so, which kind of explains the reason why he didn't flip the tides. Patrick did go for aggressive expansion. That's pretty automatic if you're going first. especially in this battle plan.
Yeah,
Those-
interesting though. Interesting, honestly, that not going for the run 3. So I'm not sure if he didn't want to rely on both Skink Priest failing or just the way he's positioned. But yeah, getting that extra point from run 3 is just usually what I do in almost every game. But that could be one that he just wants to try to win. And Jordan did do the you can't shoot within 12 too. So
Yeah.
those Bastiladons actually won't be shooting
Yeah.
him turn
We're,
1. So
we're getting Jordan in our ear right now saying that we're not doing the greatest job commentating. So yeah, he's not gonna be shot. So oh, he's saying something to me again. Yeah. This is the trial run of Reg and I commentating. So I mean, based on how our games go, it's already chaos. So
I don't know what you're talking about. I think it's going fine. So yeah, he's doing aggressive expansion. You got a couple extra CP from the Slan, which is classic. You're going to see with Seraphon. The Skink Chief used heroic leadership. Soul Render used heroic leadership as well. So far we've seen the Slan has cast Stellar Tempest, so the horde killing spell, dealing 4 mortal wounds to the center Reavers. So you've seen those 4 be gone there, and then the Slan has then went for Comet's Call.
Comet's Call, of course.
Yeah.
The nice thing about Jordan's army is it's pretty low to the ground in terms of its MSU. There's a lot of tens of Namarti, both Reavers and Thralls, and then he's got those 2 Shark units. So there's not really a good target for the Stellar Tempest. And then of course the turtle gives everything +1 save, and it's just a big beastie that does quite a bit of work. I did see that they marked the center objective as the primary objective, so we'll see if they fight for it. Jordan cleverly enough planted his boat to be within the center objective, so if he garrisons it from the back there, he'll count as contesting that. And then he'll get -1 to hit and +1 to his save. So
yeah, it's nice having the full territory, like it's the whole half, so he can actually put that boat there. So yeah, that's huge. Yeah. Looks like the Slan also cast Mystic Shield on the center Bastiladon, so probably going to throw that up. And I don't know if you really worry about that with, I guess, just 1 rend from everything. I don't know. That's like, I don't know. I feel like maybe putting on the Skink Chief or something, but he wants to keep that Bastiladon alive. So what happened next? So the Star Priest actually miscasts Hand of Glory and takes 2 mortal wounds, so that's always fun. The Skink Priest plays for heal on the Star Priest and brings it back to full. So there you go. Great reason to have the heal on your Skink Priests. The Star Priest is going to use the Serpent Staff on the 30 Skinks, as you do with the Star Priest. And the Skink Priest is using the Herald of the Old Ones command ability on the 30 Skinks, so giving him +1 to hit in the hero phase. Just an amazing ability to use. And this is one other too. I don't know if he plans to get those guys up in shooting range, but usually I would do that on the Bastiladon so that he would when he'd be able to double tap with the +1 to hit with both. But yeah, I'm not sure. We shall see. This is interesting too. Like going first, you don't know because you can cap all 3 and get 2/1/1 for the 4 full points plus your battle tactic. I like how he's positioned the 10 Skinks on the far side, so he's able to just kind of take that right objective. Nice.
Yeah, I don't know, Josh, if you know how long 2 minutes was. That was a minute, and I was already like sweating over here because I'm gonna get yelled at. But thanks for the 279 donation for making me not talk for 2 minutes. But 1 minute, I think is enough.
I think Carl needs to have a beer and.
Yeah, and interestingly, the interesting point there, having the boat there, you want to crowd your stuff around it so that you get the 5-up ward. But with Seraphon, you can blow stuff up. You could do all these so many things that you have to keep track of and be aware of when you're playing against Seraphon.
Yeah, especially in the mirror. Like I know I've had with Mike Vaginos, we had a Realm Shaper off. Like you don't want to put all your heroes in the Realm Shaper near it because it gets blown up and you take tons of mortals plus Comet. It's just nuts the amount. You can see. But yeah, so we're seeing Patrick. So he has done his hero phase. he did do Power Unleash from there to the Reavers in the center, took one more out, and then now he's just kind of moving up to on his points. So yeah, big shouts to, I see Pat's in the chat too. So hey, have a music patience, but wanted to say hey.
Music
Nice.
practice.
A music practice, yeah. What's up, Pat?
Yeah.
Good to see you, man. I saw Pierre-Luc, some of the other Montreal guys, or the Quebec guys are here. So big shouts to all you guys. Can't wait to see you. Hopefully, if you guys come down to RGT.
C'est bon.
C'est bon, c'est bon.
C'est bon. That's all Ridge was talking about all weekend. C'est bon.
Yeah, it's good. It's good, Carl. It's good.
Uh,
Do you
but
want?
yeah. What's up?
I was just gonna say, should we go when he's just doing his movement here? He's just gonna be kind of moving things around. Should we go through Jordan's list?
Sure. I actually don't have Jordan's list off by hand.
I have it here on my phone.
Okay. Go ahead.
All right, here we go. So Jordan is running Nautilar, so a little bit different of a sub-faction. He's running an Ishran Soul Render, and then Lotan, so just being able to use
Plus
those
1 to wound as well.
Yeah, and being able to pick, like not being able to shoot within 12, flip the tides, all that fun stuff. He's got 2 10s of Reavers, 2 10s of Thralls, 2 times 2 Sharks, and a Turtle. So in Jordan, I know talking to him a lot, he thinks this is a very balanced list, which I would definitely agree. It's got a lot of shooting coming out of the Turtle and both of the Sharks. A big notable about being in Nautilar is that Turtle actually becomes battle line. So that
and -3 rend as well.
Yeah, like just being able to throw that guy in and not have to worry about getting roared is just so good.
That is an interesting point. Yeah.
Yeah, and I know I'm not sure how much it came up in his games, but I'm sure it'll come up here because look, there's 4 dinosaurs here that all want to roar that turtle, I'm sure. So yeah, Patrick's just finishing up kind of his movement around, getting a couple monsters in the middle there, kind of just looking to get on the points, which that's definitely the strategy you want to do with this type of army as well. You can afford to get on all 3 points, and you want to just get as many points as you can. Just Pat, you're absolutely crazy for not running movement trays with those skinks. So big props to you for pushing those guys. I can't do it, my friend.
Yeah. Yeah, like you don't have to commit everything. He's just bunkering up, castling. During Jordan's turn, he can plink some wounds off of those skinks, or the Bastiladons, depending on what he chooses to go after. But because of that -1 damage, it's not gonna affect too much. And so turn 1's basically setting up, and we'll see who wins the turn, because that's gonna be a big one, because they're gonna crunch into each other fairly violently on turn 2.
Yep, looks like he just rolled up his engine. Looks like those 3 dice, so 3d6 because he's within 12 of the slan. And he has summoned 10 Source Warriors.
13. Also, Olivier, you say it's an English channel, and if we did content in English and French, I don't think any other YouTube channel would have any viewers left. And we want to be kind to Mr. Xavier, because he does produce some great French content, but we'd take his place if we spoke French as well. So
he does love Xavier. That's awesome. Yeah, so summoning the 10 Source Warriors, kind of leaking, I guess, a bit defensive on the side there. I'm not sure if he's worried about the Sharks maybe getting in there after, or just
could have maybe stacked them right behind the skinks and made it extremely difficult for Jordan to try to take that point. But he put it on the left hand side there. Interestingly enough, I would do kind of what Patrick did in this instance, because it opens up the possibility of you doing Conqueror afterwards.
Yeah, that makes sense. Or just staying close to the slant, so he will get lookouts there again. I guess unless those skinks move. But it looks like he's rolled another 3d6 here and rolled the summon 10 Source Warriors again.
There it is. Yeah. So 20 Source Warriors turn 1 is I don't think you ever have rolled that when you play.
Oh no, I think I bring like 30 Source Warriors when I was playing Thunder Lizards. I brought listen to me when I was playing Thunder Lizards, thinking I'm cool. I brought like 30 Source Warriors with me, and I think I only ever got to summon like once in a GT. And this whole Grand Clash, I got it once, and it was actually a pretty awesome timing. But yeah,
Yeah, it looks like
so
they're doing battle shock tests right now.
yeah,
So we'll see if they lose anymore. Oh, we're just being taken over by the French viewers that we have here.
yeah. Matu déjà vu prêt? Haha. Don't know what that means, but
I know the other one is we're Canadian and we don't speak any French. I at least understand that.
yeah.
Okay.
Bonsoir to all our lovely French viewers.
Yeah.
So looks like they finished up here. So he's going to score 2, 3, 4, and then 2 for his battle tactics. So he's getting 6.
6. Yeah.
Solid score. Looks like in a great position just with this many source on the board. That's massive. Like that's a lot of bodies to go through.
Yep.
Jordan was probably shitting his pants, I imagine, at this point. I think I did look over at one point and saw after, and Jordan's like, yeah, he summoned 20 source warriors. It's like, oh my gosh.
Yeah, with -1 damage, it's going to be a pain in the behind for Jordan to try to chew through all of that and take the objectives back.
Yep.
This is one of those battle plans where if you score the 4 points for the primary multiple times, then it can just make the battle tactics irrelevant, basically.
Big time. So Jordan looks like Jordan's went for conquer here on the right objective. Pretty safe one in this scenario. He failed heroic leadership with the Soul Render, and Pat also failed with the Skink Chief.
Yeah. Michael Sabetti's calling you out here. Le Camcret.
Le Camcret. That's right. See, he knows. Cret, that means a ridge on a mountain or something like that. I was told this, at least, from one of the waitresses last year. So I tend to, they're usually pretty trustable. So
so Trost does ask, isn't this scenario quite Idoneth oriented with only 3 objectives packed in the center? I would actually counter that point and say this is highly favorable to the Seraphon player. With Idoneth, you want to dance around and take objectives here. The 2 shark units are fairly independent of each other and are able to attack undefended objectives quite easily. But because you have 3, you can consolidate like what Patrick did here, and he can shift from one objective to the other fairly easily. Like he's parked 30 skinks right behind the middle objective, but they're fast enough to even get onto the left objective. Now the right objective's not really that easy for him to get to, but he has 2 Bastiladons and looks like an engine there as well that can just reinforce it, right? So this is going to be interesting in terms of what Jordan is able to do in terms of output.
yeah.
To try to deal with this. Now Thunder Lizards doesn't have summoning. So if Patrick doesn't roll those 10s from the engines, you can start
I was gonna say, I don't know what you're talking about. He doesn't have summoning. He's summoned 20 fucking source warriors. Okay.
Yeah, he might just grind them down if the 10s don't happen.
Yeah.
With that being said, the turn 2 priority is gonna be very, very important.
Yeah, it will be big, but I would agree with you in this scenario. Having the big dinos in a lot of models, great position to have 3 points, or just having 3 points and kind of in the middle board. So Jordan's going to have to be very particular with where he strikes. That's what Deepkin does. A lot of the elves tend to have the scalpel kind of, you go in all at once or you go in certain positions, but Jordan's very good at doing that, and he's been very practiced with it. So it'll definitely be interesting to see kind of what he does here.
Light tactics. Is this the new Night Hunt?
No, not
yet. That book does excite me quite a bit. Yeah, but I mean, every single book excites me quite a bit.
Yeah, Carl will be on to the Night Hunt immediately when they come out, and then when the next book comes out, he'll be playing them. So don't you worry.
Here's the thing, though. I have not played an elf book, so if it's an elf book that comes out, I'm not interested.
Yeah, everything but elves.
Yeah, everything but elves. Just toe touching there with the turtle, so that he gets 5 additional. Ooh, a lovely redeploy of a 6.
Yeah, it looks like he's redeploying the 10 skinks here just to try to, I guess, stay safe.
Yeah.
I always love that
Um,
big redeploy 6. God.
yeah. I mean, he shifted a little bit sideways there, I guess, to bring, if Jordan chooses to charge, to bring um the thralls closer to the main center, and then they'll be obliterated. And if you're trading 10 skinks for 10 thralls, yeah, it's not.
Oh, for sure, for sure. Yeah, I think even if they're there though, like that skink chief is eventually going to get into him. I just don't know. Maybe he just didn't want those thralls to make the charge into there. I don't know.
Yeah, I would have maybe moved them further
Well, he
back,
ha he has just a
maybe.
million CP. He's playing Seraphon, so it's like at that point, it's like, should I redeploy? Well, I got 5. Why not?
Yeah, pretty much. Oh, sorry. I'm being corrected here. It is reavers on the right hand side, not thralls. So
Oh.
difficult to I know difficult to see at times when all your models look alike. I am glad we're not commentating any Fire Slayers matchups because I wouldn't know what looks like what.
Yeah, just a bunch of naked babies.
I'm in a little bit of a saucy mood. I've just been firing. I fired at Jordan in the beginning. I fired at French YouTubers, and now I'm going at Idoneth Deepkin. So
We love it, Carl. You're almost on the verge of turning into Barl. We love it.
yeah,
Love saucy Carl. It's the best.
saucy Carl. Um,
Jordan's just moving things around. Looks like he did spend the CP for at the double with the left thralls and get
yeah,
10 on
just
that point. So I imagine you're going to see him pop a couple of those skinks just to take that point because that's going to be huge. He's going to if he can score that left one as well. Every point's going to matter for sure.
yeah. Um, the thing with these heavy in the Marty lists is they don't have the same speed as multiple sharks. I know prior to the tournament, Jordan was thinking of taking 8 sharks instead of the turtle. But didn't have enough time to get them painted to kind of the standard that you see right now. So he went with what he had finished,
Yeah.
which meant the turtle. But
Went,
again,
went,
it served him well.
Yeah, I went with the paint and he won best overall. So how you can't really, that's
Yeah,
a
yeah,
great decision. And he went 5-0. So exactly, like I think the more balanced list is great. He did actually beat my Thunder Lizards list with a very similar list to what Pierre Luc runs with the 2x3 sharks and 2 dragons, which is an amazing list. But yeah, this one I think is a little bit more diverse, and you can kind of do a little bit more, and has more shooting clearly. So the turtle fucking slaps. I love the turtle. So I think it's nice that Deepkin has some options and can kind of use those different units
yep.
and pick and choose what they kind of want to do.
And you don't see eels because everybody's sick of eels.
Yes, we all played AOS 2 enough to have the 2x6 Morsar zapping you off the board with +3 charge. That was
Yeah.
very fun.
So Jordan's just very, very precise in his movement here. There's the Lotan giving everybody +1 to wound. Very important bubbles, within bubbles, which is how elves like to play. Um, Trost did mention where can we see the world's rosters, and he's curious to see what we have prepared. Unfortunately, Trost, we are not going to worlds. It was a team decision in the end of the day. But if you are going, one of us will be there. It's Oliver, who is the captain of the UN team. So very interesting. That man is everywhere and everywhere.
Yeah, he's
So
currently in England right now. He just got back from Brazil.
he's a world
He's
traveler. Yeah,
international man of mystery. That guy
yeah,
is.
yeah. So if you're in any European countries, you may see Oliver somewhere,
There's a
especially if you're a woman.
good chance, especially if you're a woman. There it is, big shot. Now you got to shoot one at Oliver too.
But yeah, so it'll be interesting. Of course, the second turn, like I said previously, is gonna be the um, most important
Oh,
aspect of this game,
for
because
sure.
Jordan has to have, because of how many bodies Patrick has parked near objectives. Jordan has to take the aggressive approach that you see here to
Yep.
even sniff at the primaries. Um, and it's kind of the sub game that happens with this particular battle plan where whoever takes first turn their decision is whether you want your opponent to come to you or play a more measured game. Now Patrick played it kind of like a mid board kind of way in that he's planted things on the objectives, forcing Jordan to go to him. Did that make any sense? That
It
didn't
made
make any sense.
it somewhat made sense. So it looks like Jordan's into a bunch of his shooting here. So five of those Reavers did garrison that shipwreck in the middle, as you see. The 7 Reavers shot at the Skink Chief, who also used all defense, ended up only just doing 1 damage. So
Yeah, that thing is a percent behind to get rid of.
it is, and that Skink Chief has the cloak, so he's -1 to hit. So that's going to be great with the just into anything.
Yeah, we're seeing some split shots here. Jordan pointing things out. So we'll see what kind of damage. Again, those sharks with the D3 damage from 1, upgrading with a new Idoneth book, pardon me, is very, very damaging, but you will only do 2 damage if you roll the 3. Or the 5 and the 6 because
the
of Thunder
-1
Lizards.
-1 damage against the sharks and the turtle are both very, very good. Yes.
So it looks like no damage to the Saurus on the left, 1 damage to the Skink unit, and then no damage to Skink Chief. That is very, very sad.
Yeah, notable too. Just in this, when you do these lines, if you can see on the left, I wish I could circle it. The skinks on the left, because they're an exact 10 there. Sometimes I'll actually put one model in the middle of that line, because now if he doesn't lose any more, just because Jordan's killed one of those skinks, he's out of coherency. So all 4 of those skinks are going to die, and he's going to just have 5 left.
Yep.
So that's something I know that if you're able to do it and keep one skink just in the middle, like to keep, then you know that at least all of them aren't going to run away, because Jordan's going to know that, and I imagine, I don't know if he's going to target them anymore, because he'll know that he'll get that point now.
Yeah. Interestingly enough, Patrick deployed them in that way. He could have deployed them base to base, and because of 25 millimeters bases,
that too. Yeah,
you could have made it so that you had to get rid of all 10, but it doesn't look like they're base to base contact. So yeah, everything but 5 will run in that.
Such a small thing, like, you know what I mean?
Yep.
Like you do it all the time too, and you just never, one of those things you just don't really think about sometimes, and it's just
Yeah, I mean, there is something to be said about playing an army like Patrick is playing with the 30 skinks, and now he has to deal with 20 Saurus, and then he has to deal with 20 skinks. You're very cognizant of time, and small issues, small plays like that where you're just touching each of those skink units takes up time, and you kind of hurry through those paces. Trying to make up the time that an army that's more elite doesn't have to. Yeah.
And with this army, it's very, Carl, I could tell you more than anyone. There's so many things to think about with just, parts of the game, but also just everything you can do there with it. So it is a lot. But yeah, it just looks like Jordan has shot the sharks, shot at the Skink Chief. So they dealt 4 damage to him. So he's got 6 wounds left. And now the Reavers in the boat have also shot at the Skink Chief. And they've dealt 3 damage to him. So he now has 3 left. And I believe that is going to be it for the shooting. So the Skink Chief has survived.
You missed one big thing. We were hyping him up this whole time. The turtle shot and only did 1 wound.
Oh no! Yeah,
and
3s and 3s, right? And he can only do all-out attack once, so that it's gonna be 4s and 3s from that turtle, but because it's -1, right? So
I'm gonna ask you a question here. What do you call a fish with lots of money?
I don't know, but I want to hear the dad joke.
I'm waiting for Light Tactics to give me the answer. I actually don't know as well, so it's gonna be a joke for both of us.
Amazing. So yeah, we see now, Patrick. So he did remove those skinks on the left. The Soul Render returned 2 Reavers to the unit in the boat, as you can see just to the left there as well. So they're in the garrison.
There's Olivier with the answer: a goldfish.
There you go. It looks like Pat has 1 priority. So he is rolled a 4. Jordan's 1. So I imagine, we're gonna see Patrick take the turn.
Yeah,
I don't think in any scenario you're not going to give this one away.
Yep. And turn 2, if you don't flip his run and charge, so it won't impact the defensive option, um, defensive side of things for Jordan here.
Yeah, well, the thrall. So the problem, he could be in a position to give it away, but the thralls are just in such a good position where they would be able to get in and charge, and all the sharks would hit him. It'd be pretty crippling if Jordan won that turn, I think, actually.
Yeah. Um, yeah, you would peel all the screens. I mean, I don't
Not
know.
actually. No, you're right. Not very crippling, but
I don't know.
it is interesting. Yeah.
I mean, your skink chief does die. And you don't get any use out of him.
The reason I would say is because he didn't tide flip. So if he gets some charges in here, he's not going to get attacked first, which
Correct.
is
Yeah.
that's the problem.
Yeah.
If it's turn 3, then you want to go in turn 2. But if it was, say, fight first turn 2, he flipped, then you definitely probably would give it away, and you wouldn't want,
Yeah.
like, similar to when mine Olivier's game. But yeah, so I guess we can start talking. So the skink chief actually has done its finest hour. So he's almost dead. He wants to do something before he goes down. He's activated his Beastmaster to be savage, so +1 attacks. The Slan has generated an extra CP. He's popped both his warlords this turn, so he's going to get 2 more CP for that. So that's where you see he's up to 5 CP. The Soul Render has failed heroic leadership, and he has gone for the Asterism, the Hunter Steed. So that's going to give him a board-wide +1 to run and charge. Just another great thing about Seraphon. You can
Yeah, it's just so many things layered on top of each other. And Patrick is running 2 warlord battalions, so he gained 2 CP from those warlord battalions. So he's really swimming in the CPs right now.
Yeah, exactly. It's you always have that. And now, yeah, someone is I guess we're just realizing that Jordan did forget to pop his boat out in turn 1. So there is only 1 boat here. He has the artifact for that. So
Yeah.
um
I
just
don't know if it's I don't currently see where the soul render is. He might just be right behind those thralls in the middle. So I'm not quite sure where you would pop that boat because it's wholly within 12. I guess you can pop it near the center, but again, it has to be outside of 3 of terrain, outside of 3 of
yeah, he's
the
not
middle of the
fitting.
objective.
He wouldn't be
So
fitting it in there. No, Jordan, tell us in the chat, where's your soul render?
yeah. And where would you place your boat if you did not forget, or would it impact the game at all? I don't think it would. I don't see a place kind of in this terrain layout, and he's planted that first boat so central already. I don't know if there's a spot that would benefit him greatly.
Yeah, I don't know. But yeah, okay,
Olivier is going crazy about left side.
we're gonna jump back into the hero phase here. So lots of things happening. So he has taken Monsters Takeover with the Engine of the Gods. So a pretty safe one. The Slan actually failed to cast Stellar Tempest. And then the Slan failed to cast Comet's Call. So pretty
That's
rough
pretty big.
start. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. And then he has cast Mystic Shield onto the 30 Skinks. So it looks like they're gonna be going in. And then the Star Priest again fails Hand of Glory. That is very, very rough because that spell is unbelievable. That gives
Yeah.
you reroll 1s to hit until your next hero phase. So on the Skinks, just absolutely incredible. So yeah, Patrick must be feeling just not getting any of those spells off with +1, +2. Yeah, that hurts. And then your usual buffs are going to be probably coming. So yep, the Skink Priest uses the Star Priest uses Serpent Staff and the 30 Skinks, gives +1 to hit to the 30 Skinks. He has prayed for heal to give 2 more wounds back to that skink chief, so the chief is back up to 5 wounds. And then the other skink priest has prayed for bless, it looks like, on the 30 skinks, which will give them a 6-up ward, because if he can't get them all near terrain, that's great to have a 6-up ward on a 30 wound model, or 30 model unit.
Yeah. That's 30 models with -1 to hit, or -1 damage, 6-up ward, +1 save. Yeah, it's gonna be tough to get through. Those skinks are outfitted with Moonstone Club and Bolt Spitters, or Shield and Bolt Spitters. Do you know?
Not sure. I have the list here, but they should be if you know me, they should be moonstones because the
Yeah, I know you've been banging that drum since
oh
forever.
yeah, my man Pat's got it. He knows. They're bolt spitters and moonstone clubs, so
Okay. Yeah.
like fours and fours instead of
Outfit.
5 and 5. So with all the
Yeah.
buffs, just unbelievably better.
Yep.
For any of you
Here.
Seraphon players, don't ever run your 30 skinks with daggers. Always moonstone clubs.
It looks like the terrain blew up on the right hand side there. That's what we're looking at. Dealt 2 mortal wounds to the Reavers, no damage to the Thralls, and no damage to the Soul Render. So, yeah, the Soul Render is tucked in somewhere on that right hand side there.
He's just in front of the
Um,
turtle, I think.
yeah, you can't tell.
Yeah.
This is why you play an army that has a diverse range of models. No, I'm kidding. Shots fired. I hate Idoneth. It's been the bane of my existence all of AOS 2, and now they're coming as a resurgence in AOS 3, and I don't like to see it.
I love it. I think they're great. Awesome
Yeah.
models, cool rules. They got a lot of cool stuff going on.
Yeah, the aesthetic is great. As a longtime Caradron Overlords player, it does make me sad though.
Yep. Well, Chaos, I don't know, Carl. I think they're still in a decent spot.
No,
Who knows?
they're in a good spot. I would say, especially with that White Dwarf. It's just in the matchup against Idoneth. That's why I hate Idoneth
Yeah.
so much. It's no fun, from my end of things. Light tactics, man. If I could, give you a thumbs up, these dad jokes are really hitting home here.
What did he say?
Well,
What did he say?
Salmon had to say it. It's just,
Love it. Love it, love it, love it. So yeah, we're still just seeing kind of Patrick move here. I would imagine he's gonna play pretty aggressive. He's juiced the skinks up to, do a lot of work here. And then I imagine he's just gonna kind of move things out of the way and try to get into what he can. Um
yeah.
knowing
Just
that
remind me what Herald of the Old Ones does. It's plus
that's
1 to hit.
that's the +1 to hit. Yeah, yeah.
Okay, gotcha.
Yeah.
So
So
those 30 skinks did get the Herald of the Old Ones as well. Trost
yeah.
over here is roasting me because I deserve it too. Um, based on my comments before, because I played 3 War Scrolls all weekend. So
Yeah, coming from the guy playing all flies.
hey,
I'm I'm
listen, I
I'm,
played
I'm with you,
3 War
Throst.
Scrolls.
I'm
Okay,
with you, Throst.
there's a Lord of Affliction, there's Plus Goyles, there's a Plague Bears, and there's a Great Unclean One. Okay, the Great Unclean One
Yeah.
sucks big time, buttocks, but I still took him because he's cool.
Yeah. That is fair. You do run more than just flies.
Yeah, I had 10, where the maximum you can have is 16. Actually, you can probably have 18, 17, 17.
Yeah, with nothing else.
Yeah.
But we're not shitting on Nurgle. Love everyone that plays Nurgle, but not really. But I actually hate you. But I'm just kidding. I play Nurgle myself, and I'm actually painting up Carl's globe because he's switching his lists up, and I'm such a good friend that I was one of the lucky ones to be able to get a Magath Lord.
I still can't get one.
Yeah,
So-
you and everyone else in the world.
Someone did offer to sell me one for $400.
Yeah, not a chance. Canadian or American?
A Canadian.
Oh, okay.
Oh, so
Still,
that makes it okay.
still very bad.
So yeah, here we go. Patrick's using those Source Guard that he's summoned the previous turn to overtake that objective again from previous, and then he made himself a nice lane here where the Engine of the Gods can go. There you go.
Yeah, so
I don't know if it's a mistake.
It might have been cluttered if they were all in there, I guess, but I don't know. My brain is just I would have just probably put all 10 of those right in the point because he could have ran them out on the side and still got that engine in, I think.
Yeah, but do you remember what the battle tactic was this round?
Yeah, he took Monsters Takeover off the engine.
Yeah, so
which that too, I'm not
Interesting.
sure he doesn't really care about these points either because I don't know. I guess he's essentially not playing risky, which is probably smart. I just usually would go for like broken ranks or something where if you know that there's a good chance you're going to be able to get it. But as well, he's playing a little safer, which is not a bad thing. Usually top tables or you're playing Jordan with this type of list, like you want to make sure you get your battle tactics. You want to make sure you get every point you can because it could be a tight game.
Yeah, and it
So
is game one as well. If you know you aim to win all 5 games, and we did say it was 116 players, so there was quite a few players at the very end that were 5-0. Um, and you want to take every single point you can, because just to mention the scoring of this tournament, it was differential. So
yeah,
you don't want to, if you're gonna lose your game, you don't want to lose by too much. Wins was not accounted for at all. And so
no.
if you lose close games and win big in your other games, then you have a chance of really just rocketing yourself up the standings. And so we see Patrick playing a very measured game here, moving those 30 skinks. He did use at the double to run them, auto run them 6.
Which is
Um,
big. That's such a good move. Do it all the time. If you make that 3 up for the run, shoot, and charge, you auto 6 them. They're going 14, but he did the asterism, so they're going.
God, the engine summons 10 more Saurus warriors again.
Well, he's rolling it here. Yeah.
Yeah, what is happening? What is happening?
Yes, this is insane. So Patrick's next roll is for his engine is another 10 Saurus warriors. See, now this is the time where when I brought my 30 warriors that I thought I would ever have to use, I would have. Just nuts.
Yeah, 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 and he's just planting them near the back there, as another wave. I think it's too cluttered in the front, so he just quickly
he,
just
does,
putting them in the back.
he doesn't got any fucking room anymore. This table's just full of
Yeah,
Saurus warriors.
that left hand side is just like, I don't know if Jordan's ever gonna take that objective back again.
Yeah, the stream did stop for a second there. Should all be back though. I think everyone, if you want to say in chat. But oh, look, I love Pat says I look fat on camera. Pat, you do not look fat on camera. Jordan just has very skinny wrists and hands and long fingers.
um, yeah, I don't even know what to say after that comment.
Jordan knows we love him.
Yeah, yeah.
It's good to rag on him.
Yeah. But yeah, like what, the interesting thing about this particular battle plan, as well as every single one of those, is prime objectives. So there's no burning if you're taking second in round 3. So you can adopt a strategy like this where you swamp one objective, because you're not gonna get the rug pulled out from underneath you.
Yep.
In other battle plans, that could potentially happen if you lean heavily on one side and then your opponent takes second in turn 3.
So Pat's shooting at the soul render. Looks like he just put 1 through, so that'll be -1 rend. Jordan's gonna have his 5 up because he's in the boat. So yeah, just doing 1 damage to the soul render. Pretty good if 4 of those shots coming through. Only taking 1 there. That's a good roll from Jordan. And then it's gonna see what else he rolls here.
Jordan's hands and only fans, only hands.
I love it, coach. So it looks like he's shooting the Bastiladon next.
Yep.
Shooting at the Reavers in the boat. I don't know, that garrison.
-1 +1 is hard. But they are one of the few things in his army that is.
So he's not +1 though. And he's not +1 though because of the he did it to the skinks. So
yeah, I get that, but also they're one of the only units in Jordan's army that I would be afraid of as Patrick, because those Reavers shoot a lot of shots all at 1 damage apiece, and so you're able to leverage them much more in this matchup, as opposed to the sharks and the turtle, which is D3.
So he's double tapped it here, and he's put through 4 of them. Jordan made 2, and then made both his 5-up saves. So yeah, that is rough for all of that shooting. The garrison is just so good. -1 hit, +1 save, so they're going to be on 4s back to 5s.
And the 5-up ward for the Namardi
in the boat. Yeah, it's just so good. And looks like now Patrick is counting out some dice here. So I imagine this is going to be the skinks shooting into the 10 thralls.
Yep.
Oh, but now I think about it, yeah, I guess I don't know if he could have positioned those Bastiladons to shoot anything but those Reavers, because the boat is
it has to be the closest, yeah.
Yeah. So I don't know if he could have went further to the right to try to maybe get closer to the 10 thralls and maybe, but they're gonna have a 5 board too, so
Yeah,
it's just
4-inch
all
move, baby.
yeah. Well, 5 inch on the Bastiladons, but yeah, still nothing.
Sorry, 5-inch move.
Come on, Carl.
Faster than Blight Kings.
Yes, and it does looks like Jordan's making some saves here.
You know, assistant ref, you are correct. Why is it that only order armies get garrisonable faction terrain?
Because order armies are the best and everyone knows it. And we see Jordan lifting those 10 thralls. So yeah, those 30 skinks, like you said, definitely just rinse those thralls.
Yeah,
Makes
which
sense.
I get the guarantee in taking Monstrous Takeover because you know you're gonna run those 30 skinks right onto that point. But I maybe would have gone for Broken Ranks, like you were saying. Those 10 thralls are 5-up save. They don't have a hero beside them or a boat. And so
But
you're
what do
not.
you go? But you're not going to get it with the monster though, unless you hope for the charge. Because the skinks would be the same thing as monsters takeover, right?
No, you just do that. You just take it out of the way because Monstrous Takeover is gonna be fairly automatic for you at some point in the future.
Yeah. Oh, for sure. I just don't know with.
Or he could have taken Conqueror to conquer that objective because the way it's looking right now, you know, Patrick might close himself off from Conqueror later down the line.
Yeah. Never know.
Yeah,
We
I
didn't
always,
mention. We
yeah.
didn't mention that. So he didn't double tap that Bastiladon. Sorry, he has 2 Bastiladons. I'm used to playing the melee one. So he has. He actually just shot both of those and then did activate the engine again at the end, which he got the heal. So I think he just healed a wound or two to the.
Okay, everybody in chat, simmer down. Okay, I was trying to make a point. The order armies get everything. I get Khorne can garrison too, so can Feck and Gloomspite.
That's right, Carl.
Right?
Just order armies are the best. Everyone just needs to accept that and start playing them. But everyone don't do that because then the game will be terrible. Pat did make a smart move here. Big brain play, putting the skinks in first to just absolutely eat that unleash hell from the Reavers.
Yep.
There's only I think 5 of them there, but it doesn't matter. Reavers with unleash hell, just you never want to be a part of that. Whenever you never charge Reavers, they will fuck your shit up.
Yeah.
To say it in the least.
See, Turtle Sism? Yeah. You're right, okay? Feck and Khorne can only garrison one model, and nobody cares about Gloomspite gets. So my original point stands.
We both have a good friend named Noah that loves Gloomspite gets and garrisoning them with a bunch of trolls and wrecking people's days.
That's fair. That's fair.
Yeah, lots of love for the gits. Looks like he's now charging some other tings. The Bastiladon, it looks like, has failed his charge, which I imagine he was just going to put him into the boat.
Yep.
What's up next? Looks like he's charging in the Saurus Warriors. Looks like he's pointing at. So I imagine they're also going to just go into the boat.
I think what he's doing here is because the Unleash Hell already happened, he can just freely charge those Saurus warriors, and because he didn't move them super far during his movement phase, he's using the charge phase here to cover that extra distance to close off any sort of charges into those 2 Bastiladons who are in the center.
I love it.
So it's less of an offensive charge and more of a defensive charge, which
tying up those Reavers. Honestly, that's something just for me watching that back. That's a play I don't
Here's
think
the
I've ever
thing,
done
though,
something like
Ridge.
that. I like it.
Here's the thing, though, Ridge. He won't tie up those Reavers.
No, they're gonna kill him. But yeah, it is a nice little.
No. He's just gonna pop out of the boat right behind, and then he'll shoot afterwards. So
out of the garrison, he can. Yeah.
Correct. So if you pop him outside of the garrison, then
right.
You won't be within 3, and then he's free to shoot. But at least that does remove the -1 to hit, +1 save.
You are correct. Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
And that he's charged the Staggy into the other side, which makes sense. The Skink Chief.
Yeah.
See if he can kill the 5 Reavers there.
This is looking very rough for Jordan. Very, very rough.
It's just a lot of models into his face. He still, honestly though, that turtle will wreck shit, and he has still 2 units of 2 sharks, so 10 thralls. You know,
But the thing is,
there's
the -1 damage just makes that turtle not as impressive as, you know,
well,
it should
six.
be.
What does it do? What is it? Its fins like this doesn't like 4 damage or
4
5.
damage. I mean, yeah, 3 damage is still quite
four to
significant.
4 to 3 is not the worst thing.
Yeah, and the bites, if he does roll that 6, it is 6 mortal wounds, which doesn't get reduced.
No.
Um, doesn't
And
get
the
reduced by
thralls, the
the
thralls will be great into the Saurus warriors because they're 1 wound, so they get extra attacks. You just don't want the thralls going into monsters because then that gives them the extra damage, which then gets reduced by 1. So that's why I always love trying to put my monsters into the thralls.
yeah.
Like the Skink Chief did do 1 mortal wound to the Soul Render on impact. I don't know if that lives him on. He must only have 1 or 2 wounds left. Then he stomped the Reavers, looks like here, for. I guess we're going to see in a second here. Yeah, but no, I agree. Good position. See what the Skink Chief can do because it is turn 2. So he's going to be able to finish this. Now, I don't know if he would have been able to stay. I don't know if he's within 3 of the turtle. It looks like he is. So I don't know if he was able to complete the charge and stay within half an inch of the thralls and then not be within 3 of the turtle. Because that's, I imagine, what he would have wanted to do. Or now he might be trying to possibly pile into the turtle. But the turtle's going to be on a 2-up save. So that Skink Chief, even fighting at top bracket, it's going to be very hard to get some damage through on him.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, I don't know if you want to pull in that turtle.
I don't know if he could have avoided it though with the charge. Like if he could have stayed outside of 3 and been within half of the Reavers. I don't know. Maybe Jordan can say in the chat if he. I imagine that was something what the players talked about. So it does look at the Leviathan has roared the Skink Chief here, which is
Yeah,
very
so
smart. So he can't fight at top bracket, and he can't do anything to the Leviathan because the Leviathan is in Nautilar and in Hunters
yep.
because it's battle arm.
Um, yeah, yeah, yeah. And that's an interesting, like, I don't know if I would have charged that Skink Chief. I know you would have wasted the finest hour and that sort of thing. Um, but because of how it's positioned right now, and I think, correct me if I'm wrong, Reg, but most of the attacks are 1 inch or 2 inch.
So the horns are 2 inch, and then the stomps and the bites are 1 inch. Yeah. So just
Yeah,
the horns. They're 4 damage though, but
yeah, but because of where it is right now, you're not gonna get those 1 inch reach attacks onto the turtle, and the turtle will bite back hard. No pun intended. Uh,
yeah.
but
Olivia makes a good point here too. But actually, so he did actually try to charge. He failed to charge Olivia.
yeah,
But that
for
is a
the
good point to be able to blow up the boats, which I haven't really done, and you kind of forget about that, just not playing Deepkin much. But
yeah,
yeah, if you can blow up those boats, that's gonna definitely help you.
yeah, he did try. He did try.
He failed the charge. It looks like it would
Yep.
have been what that probably about a 6, something like that. He must have failed.
A little bit more than, yeah. No, yeah, you're right. It's about 6. Yeah, 6, 7.
Hmm.
Um, yeah, because that Skink Chief is most likely going to die. Because Jordan's going to obviously elect the Reavers to fight first. They're going to pile in an attack, and the Skink Chief, here we go. The Skink Chief goes and
Well,
kills them.
so the Skink Chief is splitting attacks between the Soul Render, who we can't see. So there's a Soul Render just underneath of the building there.
Hmm.
And the Reavers, the Soul Render, it looks like is
Interesting,
going to be
interesting.
using.
I did forget about the Soul Render.
Yeah, he
Yeah,
is.
taking that guy out means that you're removing the model return
You
that he
can see his
had.
base actually. So if you look at the tray there of the 532 mils, just to the left of that,
Left
you
of
can
it,
see
yeah. There's
there's
a
a little
white
bit of a
outline.
tile.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that's where he must be.
Oh, it got bumped. Now we can see him better.
Nice, perfect timing.
So
Jordan.
again, I'm not. I guess because the soul render is there, those reavers would return, would keep returning, and so he had no choice but to charge that skink chief trying to kill the
Oh
soul
man,
render.
yeah, it's so annoying that soul render. You have to kill him. That's why it's like,
But you know what
yeah,
happened? The soul render didn't die because of the roar.
Yeah, so he roared, and the Soul Render did all of defense. He did kill the Reavers, but the Soul Render took 2 damage and survived on 1 wound.
Yeah.
Wow. He done up and carled himself.
Okay. I'm saying it now. I would like that changed. I
Well,
didn't do it.
Carl, you're ripping on everyone else. You gotta be able to take it back sometimes, buddy.
There are instances where I think I'm gonna Carl things and leave things with 1 wound, so that on the following turn I can do the battle tactic, and then I would kill them. So I think Carl is just a thing you say when your plans don't go in, like don't go.
No, it's not that bad. It's just leaving something on 1 wound. That's all we're giving you, okay? It's not just every unfortunate thing ever in your life. That's a little too much, buddy. Well, just leaving a monster on 1 wound.
All right. But
He's
that soul render living is very, very big, meaning that Jordan on his turn can retreat and
or
he'll live.
yes, and bring back Be Annoying and bring back other models and other things like that. So he did pile. Looks like he piled the Source Warriors in just to kind of help with that charge block, like he was doing.
Yep, and
Um,
be outside of 3, obviously, of the thralls.
yep, and it looks like just when those Source did pile in, they took 1 Reaver down. So they did more than that second Bastillodon did. So go Source Warriors,
Mhm.
love it. Now
Yeah,
Jordan, I
you're now playing a lot of Saurus warriors. This is what you look forward to.
oh yeah, I'm on the Source train right now, buddy. Loving it. I've just been packing my stuff up, getting stuff ready. Got some knights. I've got some knights getting printed. I already have like 50 or 60 Source Warriors, so yeah, they're fun. We'll see what happens. What's so the Soul Render actually Jordan now has piled him in, so we'll see if the Soul Render can he seems pretty pissed. He might be able to
Yep.
peg a wound or 2 here.
Yeah, and he doesn't have very many wounds left. I think he had 5, I believe was yeah, he had 5. So the soul render does 1 damage, leaving him at 4. Um,
Love that.
now here's the interesting thing you could potentially do. Now this is just me because I'm a huge gambler and the way I play is very um very aggressive. Is you could potentially pile in 3 the Leviathan closer to the skinks and try to attack everything into the skinks, leaving the skink chief alive, and then on the following turn choosing bring it down. Or you can just kill it and then go over and muck shit up on the other side. So
Yeah, see, I
there's
don't know.
options.
I like that if you take it down here, you're gonna get the point for killing a monster in this turn. And then oh no, it's only per battle round, right?
Yeah,
So
it
yeah,
is only
never
per
mind.
battle round. Yeah, so
Yeah, okay, so
um
he would only get 1 either way. Um, does
yeah.
he really care about that? I think you just want to get it over with and get it done. It looks like
Yeah,
Jordan has piled in
I
the
think you do want to get it over, get it done.
yeah, you want to just make sure you kill that guy because then the turtle is free to go and especially he'll be able to pile away from the skinks, which like he has done here. So when he gets turned, that turtle is able to just go wherever the hell he wants, which is going to be nice because those, like I said, the turtles, although they're 500 points, like they went up, yes, but
Ooh, there's
they're
a 6
still
there.
very strong.
Oh, that's not the jaws. I believe those are the fins, which do 4 damage. 1. Uh, and here we go.
Yeah, there's the delay as well, Carl.
What?
So the Leviathan should, in all honesty, have no problems with this. He is -1 to hit, so
And finest hour, so
and he would have the Skink Chief probably would have done his lowered his head the
plus
to give
1.
+1 safe. So
Ooh,
he'd be +2, but
yeah.
either way, there's a good chance. Looks like he is rolling out just the last bits of his saves here, and there you go. He has pulled them, and the
Yeah.
Skink Chief has went down.
Yeah. You know why I'm slightly ahead? Because I accidentally rested my elbow on my keyboard, which skipped the video forward. So
Fun stuff.
I'm a true professional over here.
All good, buddy. All good. So the Leviathan has finished off the Skink Chief. He dealt exactly 4 damage to finish him off, which is insane. Just the -1 to hit must have just been massive. So Seraphon at the end of the turn is going to score 3 for objectives, and their battle tactic for 5 points. So because that Soul Render lived on 1 wound, he's actually just under the building there, meaning he had 7 models on that point. So that was huge.
Yep. And also bringing back more Reavers. There we go. He puts one back.
Yeah, so he's going to that's from
Just the Soul Render. Yeah.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, the Soul Render. And so notable too, Jordan did take the Indomitable Triumph here. So Jordan was 1995 in this list, which is just nuts to be able to get the Triumph. But Pat was 2000 right on. So at 1995 points, Jordan was still able to use the Indomitable Triumph here for Battle Shock, which, always nice to have.
Yeah. Now, interestingly, I want to know if those 5 skinks are within 3 of the turtle, because that would.
No, I would imagine they're not. I think when he piled, he would have pulled them out.
Yeah, tried to. I mean,
But it's also interesting that with pulling models, if Patrick was able to get a further charge and then pulled from the back, so he could have tagged that turtle. But then Jordan might have split his attacks, and he maybe wouldn't have finished the Skink Chief off. So very many things could have happened if that whichever way that went. But those, it's always interesting thinking back about those types of scenarios. And I always kick myself in the teeth, like, oh, I should have just went a little bit further with that charge, left this here. But those are things in hindsight you're always going to do, and things to learn from. But
yeah. So Turtle here is saying I should mentally put that 3-inch gauge from the middle point to the right point. Can you tell him why that doesn't work with me?
Yeah. So Turtles is what is it? Turtlesism. Carl doesn't have spatial awareness. I don't know if you knew that, but he's very, very good with many things in this game. Spatial awareness not being one of them. So yeah, sometimes Carl will just move things and say, it'll be about a 5 or about a 6 or something, and then he'll realize, oh shit, that was actually like an 8.
No, it's not. It's not even that. That's putting it lightly. I've mismeasured 6 or 7 inches, like at all. Like I can't. I'm like, I think that's Savage Spearhead. Measure it out. I'm like, oh no, I'm like 12 inches away from where I need to be. So yeah, I'm not great when it comes to measuring. So kind of the greatest thing that I need to learn playing this game is measuring everything.
Yes.
Because I play with Ridge and Jordan and Oliver and Zach and all those guys, and I play with many players who are very, very good at the spatial awareness aspect of the game. I just don't have it.
I think you do. You just need to take a second and.
No, I don't think I do. It's okay to say at times that you don't have that skill, or because I have a bad eye. Like my left eye is not great, so my depth perception's off. So I actually can't see very well. Like I probably look at the game in more of a 2D way versus some. I'm not lying. I'm being totally serious about it. Like I have my left eye is worse than my right, so my depth perception is not great, so I can't measure distances as well, especially if they're far away from me.
Welcome to diagnosing Carl's vision on Season of War, everybody.
and so it's okay to say like you don't have that skill or that talent, and you can compensate with it. I just need to slow down and measure, and that
you make up for it with how knowledgeable of everyone's armies you are, Carl.
Yeah, yes. This whole thing where we're talking about, I went on this huge rant about my vision problems. All this could be solved by me wearing glasses. I just refuse.
Glasses are cool. I love that Pat has said in the chat that
he's playing music and
damn Soul Render lived on survived. Yes, that is ridiculous.
So going back into the game here, the battle tactic for Deepkin is broken ranks, and with that turtle, I think that's pretty easily doable. Yeah. Maybe even with shooting.
On the 5 skinks, very easy. And that's
on the right hand side.
Extra points come up very easily, especially that's why it's huge having the turtle as well. It's having a great monster to be able to do it, but he's probably gonna be able to do it in the shooting as well, right? Yeah, exactly. So
Yeah.
he's still gonna be
Um,
able to play him somewhat aggressive and figure out, what he wants to do. He's done what heroic leadership on the Soul Render who lived, as we'll call him, and the Engine of the Gods has also done heroic
who
leadership.
lived? Here we go. You know, using your opponent's fingers to mark. Um,
That's right. These guys are pals.
yeah,
It's awesome when you're playing with like one of your pals or one of your buddies. When we play on the channel, yeah, we move each other's models and stuff, but
yeah.
it's
I
all
mean, it's just a nice thing to do for your opponent, just so that you know you play a tight, consistent game. You just measure it out, and from where Jordan is standing, it's at an angle, or if you're playing me, I can't see very well. Um, and for Patrick, it's closer, so he can put his finger down to mark the precise point of where your models can go.
yeah.
Interesting. I'm using the word interesting too much. I'm gonna change it up.
You're an interesting man, Carl.
The ritual is +1 to run and charge on the Leviathan, so making that easier. I will say it is a 6 inch charge.
There you go. Nice. I think you're right. It looks like it's about a 6. He has just taken that Soul Render and got the hell out of Dodge
Yeah,
right way back.
yeah.
And now
Here's
we're
it
seeing
is with the sharks.
yeah,
I mean
and
the shots from the turtle could, you want that turtle to go into the Bastildon just so that you start kind of doing this sweeping motion for Jordan where he'll go from right to left, because that left hand point is so unassailable right now.
yeah.
Um,
This is where
so
Jordan, I will say right now, this is where
Mhm.
Jordan excels in the game. He is very, very good at picking where he wants his models to go in the
Yep,
movement phase and positioning them so that if he fails something or something happens, he still has other options. Like look at
yep,
him, just the way with his tape, he just kind of, that's something that playing along a lot of reps of something as well helps tremendously. And
yep,
also just having units that can shoot 24 and move 14 and you know what I mean? Like all the benefits of playing Deepkin as well. So yeah, it'll be interesting to see because those Basildons on a one-up save are just so tanky. But
yep.
the turtle has the 6 mortal wound bite, which you don't really ever want to rely on. It
Yeah,
does
but if
some
you get it, it'll just rip through those Bastildons quite easily.
yeah, and it's looked like he's really measuring where he wants to put these sharks at the bottom.
Yeah, of where he goes. You don't want Patrick to recover and start to do the same thing where he sweeps from left to right. So
Yeah,
oh, okay, he's
and
pulled
Jordan,
the
he's
sharks backwards.
right to the back. Like that's the
I
play you would rarely ever see anyone do.
Yeah,
Like
yeah.
he's
So
pulled
I think
them.
he's just gonna plink them. But I think he's measured it enough where if Pat ever leaves that point, um, undefended or enough or like scarcely defended, then those sharks can just pounce
Yeah, the
quite
Sharks move.
hard.
They move 15 or 14. So those skinks, if he's put them here, and he makes a charge or comes to that far, they're going to be out of position, right? And then he's so fast with everything else, he can kind of just get around. So
There's Lotan. He's just sidled up into that building where the Soul Render used to be, so that he can give that +1 to wound bubble. Yeah, this is where you see Jordan's kind of skill in the game is expressed, where his movement, like you were saying, even those
yeah,
two sharks where they're
it's annoying. It's annoying, is what it is.
where you put them in that V formation. Um, he's done that so that if he doesn't kill those skinks on the right hand side in shooting, he can charge quite easily into them. Or
Hmm.
if he does kill them in shooting, he has an easier charge to those Saurus warriors into the middle. Um,
Yep.
so here's the great thing. He's able to just those thralls into the garrison. So he has 10 thralls, open up that lane for the sharks to get in as well if he wants to. So normally, if you didn't have that garrisonable piece of terrain, those thralls would get in the way of your sharks. But yeah, you just open it up.
Yeah, I wonder what target priority here. What's he shooting? I guess you just go for the turtle into the skinks first. I imagine. I don't know.
Yeah, I would maybe shoot one shark into them. Because the one shark's not going to be able to kill because max damage is 4. Oh, actually, no, the D3 could spike.
Yeah, the
Um,
-1 damage. It is kind of crazy because so we can see Jordan starting to roll it here.
yeah, so he's shooting just the turtle, I believe, into the skinks there.
He has to shoot the closest enemy. Turtle doesn't know that. Yeah, that'd be great if Deepkin had to also shoot the closest model. That should
No,
be
they don't have
the
that.
new rule.
So it looks like it'll
He
be
he
4
did.
damage.
Yeah, he left a skink alive. Yeah.
Yeah,
Which, yeah, -1 damage on the D3 damage is just tight.
yep. Yeah, I see. I would have maybe shot one shark into the skinks to. You don't want to waste shots, but one battle point is also big.
It's still
Uh,
very easily that he could have took all 5 out. I think dice, it's like, yeah, 4 or 5 damage, something like that.
Yeah, because it's 8
So
shots from the turtle, right? Um,
I don't think he's more worried about like this, like we said with this matchup. Like you just want to win the game because
yep.
this is two great players, two like good, amazing armies. So yeah,
Yeah, but if you set up yourself to get that monster point, you're closer towards Pat, because Pat is currently 11, right? Um,
yeah,
so Jordan has to make up 6, and he's not gonna make up 6 in this turn because it looks like if he takes that middle point, it'll be 2 there, plus his battle tactic for 4 points, putting it 11 to 9, putting him 2 back. If he's able to kill it with the turtle, he'd only be 1 back.
yeah. So what happened? So the Reaver split shots, killed the last skink,
Yep.
and killed one Saurus warrior.
Yep.
And
Um,
then looks like the Sharks are shooting at the 30 skinks, which as a Seraphon player, that's always what you should shoot. The
the
30
skinks.
skinks, yeah, yeah. It's
Yeah.
especially with
You
it's
just need
just
to
going
get
to be,
them below 15, and then you can safely
which
ignore
is
them after that.
still very hard because
It's very, very hard because you can also rally them back.
yeah,
Um,
but even just the -1 damage, it's especially with just shooting them with sharks and turtle. But
yeah. But the sharks, the bottom sharks, the sharks that have quote unquote retreated to the bottom of the table there are the ones shooting right now. So
yeah,
Turtle, he did put the thralls in the boat, which means they're all in combat and they
yeah,
have +1 to save and -1 hits. So, um,
fun stuff.
yeah.
Fjord
So,
Gamers, hey, what's up, buddy? How's it going? Listen to me, out Canadian. What's up, buddy? Hey,
hey,
buddy.
hey, buddy. I don't know why I
Buddy.
have that accent there. Um,
That was not Canadian,
yeah,
Carl.
not at
That
all,
was
not at all.
not
I
Canadian.
don't know what it was. Um,
Sounded like Fonzie to me.
uh,
Hey.
we hung out with one Mr. Joe Pagano all weekend, so I think it rubbed off on me. I had a French accent by game 5. It was kind of I don't everyone's like, yeah, it's totally cool. I was like, yeah, but I don't talk like this normally. So when you hang out with people long enough, you turn into them. So
Big time, big time.
so for all of you guys who are talking about, oh, if Carl played Warhammer Fantasy Battle, he'd suck. Yeah, I would suck, um, greatly. But also,
You wouldn't be able to tell at 45 if it was a flank or not. It'd be like, yeah, you flank me. Sure, it's all good.
yeah. But with that being said, I did not start miniature wargaming until Age of Sigmar, the first General's Handbook. So I knew nothing about models and playing all that. So I'm not one of those guys who played when they were a kid and rediscovered it as an adult, which is I think how you started.
What's that?
Where
Playing
you played
fantasy?
fantasy when you were a kid and then you rediscovered it when you're an adult.
Yeah. Well, I wasn't really a kid. I was drinking beers by the time when I was
Oh,
playing
okay, never
fantasy,
mind then.
but I was, I think I was like probably 19 or something, 19 or
Yeah,
20 maybe.
yeah,
But
it was
yeah,
the
I
same
played.
with Jordan as well. I
Oh,
think.
fantasy was so awesome. Like
No,
just
no,
being able to. It was more annoying because it was longer and like picking. You could completely tailor your lists to like every little item, every little thing you had. but it took way longer, and it was like rank and file, and yeah, Sigmar is just mainstreamed it so much better and just made it quicker and easier. But yeah, I'm one of the long live the fantasy days. Played Skaven, loved the Doom Rocket, the cannons.
Yeah. Um, yeah. So we did see the. I did forget the Leviathan does have that Ren 3 from Nautilar. But it doesn't matter, right? With the Bastiladons because they're one up. So
Well, it still matters. Yeah, they're one up, so it goes to a 4 up. But yeah, it's
oh, is it not unrendable anymore?
no, dude, no, no, no. They're just a 1 up save, unbracketed.
Didn't they used to be something like it used to be die roller or some nonsense and
Yeah, it
only
was it
one?
was super cool, and no one understood the fucking rule. But yeah, it used to be it modified the die roll, so you couldn't. It would stay on
Yeah,
the 1 up. Yeah,
yeah.
which
So
was it was
it no longer does that, right?
no, it was
Okay.
super dumb. So
Okay,
yeah,
so
it
the
changed
crushing
that.
assault Ren 3 does matter quite a bit. Um,
Yep.
the reason why I'm sort of kind of confused is because the Bastiladon did use all out defense. Of course, at 0 plus save.
Yeah, we didn't mention either too. So the sharks down at the bottom did do all out attack and killed 9 skinks. So that is definitely notable.
Oh, I didn't even completely miss that. Yeah.
Yeah, just saw him pulling them, but now we're seeing the
9
turtle.
skanks. Jeez.
Yeah, that's pretty good roll for what are they? 4 shots each, eight
Yeah, so
shots,
it'll
two
be 8
threes,
shots.
two
Yeah.
threes. Yeah, pretty good.
Twos, threes, -1. Obviously, the -1 does quite a bit of work against the skinks. Um, but you would have had to roll quite a few threes in order to even affect them, right? Because most of it is just 1 to 4 is only 1 damage. So
Yeah, Joel McGrath in chat getting PSD from seeing these two armies on the table. 4 of my 5 games were against Idoneth Seraphon. Yeah, that's tends to you see that a lot now.
world
Seraphon
famous
just
Joe McGraw.
yeah.
I've
Yeah,
definitely
what's
heard
up,
his
Joel?
name before. I just don't remember from what.
Yeah, I have as well. He beat them both though. Awesome to hear. Olivier, I played Fantasy since version 2. Love it. Yeah. Wood elves were the worst. I agree. You couldn't fucking charge them. They were just always running around you and shooting you.
Yeah,
Fun
yeah.
stuff.
I'm sad that I didn't get to play fantasy, but I'm also glad if that makes any sense.
Yeah, it was a lot of rules, man. It was a lot of stuff. But anyways, yeah, so back to here. So the Leviathan, what it do? At the end of the day, it dealt 8 damage to the Bastiladon. So
So that's pretty good on a 0 up save. 8 damage is big.
yeah, so he
Um,
would have been on Ren 3. So yeah, he would have been on a 3
3
up.
up.
Yeah. So
Yeah,
with all the fins and everything, I don't think he rolled any of the 6s. That's what you really
that's what
want.
you. Yeah,
Mortals.
yeah. But
Hmm.
that does significantly hamper that Bastiladon. So the Saurus warriors are able to kill 2 thralls, which is
Yeah.
incredibly fortunate because -1 to hit, +1 save.
Yeah, they're going to be hitting on 5s. That's pretty rough. They're going to have 2 bites, but still, those are going to be hitting on 6s.
6s. Yeah, yeah.
They're just kind of there now. They're just bodies essentially.
And
Kind of want to almost.
the thralls might wipe them.
Oh, the thrall should absolutely rinse them. Yeah, they're gonna have.
16 of them, or sorry, 16. 8 of them times 3 will be 24 attacks.
Yeah,
Which
thralls.
would
I
be threes, twos, because low 10 is hiding in that building or like
yeah.
hiding underneath that building. So threes, twos, minus
Doesn't
one,
matter.
1 damage. Yeah.
Doesn't matter how many times I play thralls. I still like. I know they're squishy, but with the 5 up ward, I'm like, and Olivia can attest to this. I charged like 30 skinks into his like what I think it was like 16 thralls or something. Fully attack, 3s rerolling 1s, 4s to wound with 6s doing mortals, like thinking I was gonna kill 10 or 12. I killed like 6, I think, and then those 10 thralls killed 21 skinks.
Yep. Yep.
It was just like, yeah.
There's some of the highest damage units in the game. The 2-inch reach is really what unlocked them to be where they are at now.
Yeah, if you spike the ward and then oh man, that's yeah, it's just nuts. Thralls can do some good damage. But like I said, against monsters, it's so nice with playing Thunder Lizards and
Yeah,
not happening,
here it
right? Because then
is.
it's -1. Yeah, so we're gonna see Jordan here rolling out all of the wounds. And that looks like a lot of dice on what that -1, so he'll have a 5-up save. Nah, maybe a couple will live.
No, I think they're all dead.
Well, it depends. Dice. Oh well, or no. There we go. Yeah, we see him picking them up.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah. So thralls continue to do what thralls do. Nice.
yep. And then it looks like Pastrik's gonna go with his Bastildon into the Leviathan, which again is on a 2-up save. Is
Yeah, he does have -1 Ren, but still, yeah, 3-up. I don't think he's even going to do anything here.
Yep.
Um, just kind of attacks through. But no, they just decided, yeah, so he didn't do any damage to that anyway. So Deepkin scored the 2 objectives, so the battle and their battle tactics. So
Yeah,
1,
for 4.
2. So they're going to score 4 points, but stay in it. Now this is going to be a pretty important priority.
Yep. It looks
Which,
like Jordan is just putting back his thralls here.
yeah. So no, so yeah, it's already there. So Pat has rolled a 5, Jordan has rolled a 4. So this is a real thinker, because now you know Deepkin is attacking first. So in this position, you charge anything, you know that they're going to hit you first. This is so he still has a
Yeah,
lot of shooting on the board still, but yeah, this is
I think you have to take it.
mhm.
I think you have to take
Well,
it for for the fact that that Bastildon will die. So you
and the sharks into him, and the sharks will get into him. Like they're
yeah
definitely going to both get in for sure.
yeah. So you want to retreat that Bastildon out. Get those skinks onto that middle point. Uh, you can take it back. You have one extra turn of scoring there that you can do. If Pat gives away to Jordan, Jordan's going to kill that Bastildon. He's going to pop those thralls out into the center point, charge the other Bastildon. Um, Potentially, well, the +1 damage doesn't really do very much, but he's going to dent that guy, and then the sharks will now jump into the left hand side. And then again, another round of shooting means another 9 skinks could die, right? So
Yeah, he's got to kill. He's got to kill some stuff. I agree.
yeah,
That's
yeah.
that's big to win the prow here. So yeah, so he has taken the turn. So we're seeing Seraphon top of 3. The Slan has generated 1 extra CP,
Star
so
piece
that
as well.
puts him on 3. So that should put him on 1, 2. That should put him on 4.
Mhm.
The Asterism, he's doing the Sage's Staff and the Slan, so he's just getting the +1 to cast.
Yeah, you can still do the mortals. You want to kill that soul render
Yeah, it
as
has.
best as you can, right?
Yeah, I don't know if he's healed him back up or if he still just has 1 wound left. Because yeah, that's a tasty comet target.
Yeah, because that guy living has allowed Jordan to bring back a couple Namardi, right? And he's winning that grinding game that I love so much.
Yep, it looks like so. Yeah, so he has chosen Ferocious Advance.
Yeah. Now we don't know what he chose to Ferocious Advance.
I imagine it's going to be the 10 Source Warriors in the back, things that
I
aren't going to be in combat.
yeah, but it also has to be starting units, so those Source Warriors aren't eligible for it. So I believe it's gonna be the Star
Star Priest,
Priest,
Skink Priest,
Priest,
and Skink
and
Priest. Yeah,
yeah,
because the Slan's in the temple.
yeah. And interesting in here because like what you were saying before, Ridge, turn 1, you were surprised that didn't go for Ferocious Advance there. So
Yeah,
he basically lost out on that extra point.
yeah, because he could have ran. Well, it's if you run the Skink Chief, because he's not getting in turn 1, you can't shoot him. So then it's like you got to run one of the shooty Bastillodons and hope for the 3-up, and then choose the engine, which you're always choosing the engine.
Yeah,
So
but here's the thing, right? Because he used the ritual for no shooting.
exactly.
Within
So
12, so you aren't gonna shoot them anyway. So
yeah,
might as well score that or score that extra point.
should have for
Put you
sure.
ahead, and then in this case on this turn, if you just flipped Ferocious Advance turn 1, and then you can take aggressive expansion here fairly comfortably because those skinks can just reinforce that middle point.
For sure. Yep, that's yeah.
But it's
Probably
all
just
hindsight.
a matchup thing, right? Like he's not
All,
really.
all hindsight as well, because
Yeah,
we're seeing it here in the third battle
and
round, and we can
Pat
discuss that.
has also, as you can start to see him roll these dice, Pat has carried on the trend of not being able to cast spells with Seraphon, which is weird. He's
Yeah,
failed Comet, and then he failed Stellar Tempest. He got Mystic Shield off, put it onto the Saurus Warriors,
Hand of
and
Glory
then
finally.
yes, he's finally got Hand of Glory, and he's cast well, just buffed up the skinks. So he's gave them the Serpent Staff for 6s to wound to an additional mortal, as you do. He did give the Starstone Staff to them and the Bastiladon on the left, so they're both +1 save, run, shoot, and charge. And then he has used the Herald Eola ones for so +1 to hit on the skinks as well. He gave them Bless too, so those skinks got, that's what you see, all those little gems on the above where all those skinks
Yeah,
are.
yeah,
Always fun what you use for tokens for Seraphon. There's
yeah.
just way too
And
fucking
then
many.
if you're a practice enough player, you can just use visual reminders like Pat, what Pat has done here.
Yeah.
He doesn't need to have the specific texts,
Yeah, what do you
obviously,
mean?
because
You
he's
don't want like gross wooden squares that have pen marks on them, and people
balsa
have
wood,
people have
balsa wood.
commented and told me that, and Jordan's like, "Ah, I'll make you some tokens." I'm like, "No, I want my squares of wood with my dumb pen marks on them. They're
And then you have
lucky."
circles of construction paper too, is the other thing that you use. The
Like
red
hard,
circles. Yeah.
yes, which I painted. They're from the cardboard from a beer case, and then I painted on them, and then I wrote BDE for best day ever.
And
And
that's
the
not
other
even the
one,
thing, it's their finest hour.
I know. And then I wrote
Um,
AB for Arcane Bolt and MS for Mystic Shield. Those ones are
um,
real old ones.
yeah, and then here's me with all these acrylic tokens because I just like that stuff. Um,
Yeah,
um,
exactly.
but the Realm Shaper did blow up that the tower over there, and did 3 mortal wounds to the turtle, and 3 mortal wounds to the sharks there. So
Ooh, love that.
yeah, so pretty good.
Yeah, you
Um,
can't ask for more than that. If only he would have not failed Comet again. He even did the Sage of Staff, so he was +2 to cast.
yeah, which is, I mean, that's the thing, right? Game of Age of Sigmar, you know, you need both skill and luck to win, especially GTS where you need skill and luck in 5 games.
For sure. A
Um,
lot of it does matter upon your matchups and that. See, and now Pat, this is one that I will go to the grave about. You not having the, if your general isn't the Slan and not taking XD grubs, I guess the Rectrices and the Cloak of Feathers are both unbelievably good items. But in this case, that's where I would make I make the Slan my general
Master,
for
the
Arcane Might. Because
Arcane
the
Might, yeah.
reroll cast is just so good. It saved, like I miscast twice this tournament, and it's just so massive having that reroll. So that would
It,
have probably got off a couple, of those comments or of these spells that really hurt him not getting off.
it's actually funny because when I was playing Stormcast for the channel, um, Jordan was like, "Oh, well, why don't you make the Lord Relictor your general?" And I was like, "I don't want to make the Lord Relictor my general because he's a 2-up to teleport, anyways." And
Mhm.
lo and behold, I failed that stupid 2 times out of 3 turns.
Translocate, yeah,
Yeah,
absolutely.
yeah, and it's such a big thing in your game plan, right? A lot of armies nowadays have smaller heroes that do a very important job buffing the rest of your army. Like Lotan with +1 to wound just makes it so that everything's wounding on 2s instead of
Yep.
3s, which I can attest to is a big difference. And that Soul Render bringing some of the Namarti back as well. If you are able to cast Comet multiple times, because I think he's failed it twice, right?
Yeah, he's failed it twice. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, 2d3 mortal wounds means
Dead
Lotan
heroes.
is quite hurt, and the Soul Render is dead.
It's so good against so many of the good armies right now. Like the
Yeah,
amount of times I've cast Comet and just done the 3 wounds to Marathi, because you can choose like the Shadow Queen and then choose Marathi.
yeah.
And then against Deepkin, killing off the Soul Render. It's just it's dumb the amount of mortal wounds Seraphon can do from a distance. And
Uh,
I know it's
so Turtle, Master of Magic? No, not Master of Magic. Arcane Might, because of course, Seraphon has one that's
Yeah,
better.
we have a command trait for it, and then as well, you can also just take the artifact Ixty Grubs if you don't want to use the command trait, which also gives you a reroll. And there's a
Yeah.
third one, even if you're playing Draktail, the general get as this land, you get a reroll and you get an extra spell, which is fucking tits.
The Arcane Might, is it reroll for all your for every single cast, or just one?
What's that? Arcane Might?
Yeah.
Just one. Yeah, just one.
Okay.
But it's unbind as well, which is good.
Yep.
But so we saw him move the 30 skinks there. I guess we didn't say he did use that to double. Obviously, they're zoomed down there. Will be interesting to see what he shoots because it looks like he's closer to the boat than the sharks. I don't know. Some of them he'll probably have to split which ones.
Yeah,
when it gets to that point.
there's a little bit of a discussion right now, and we see Jordan here measuring to
The
see what.
engine did do must have rolled between 9 and 13, so doing D3 mortal wounds to something within 24. He chose the sharks, so he did 2 mortals to them. Oh no, it's everything within 12. Sorry, so 2 to them, 1 to the reavers, and none to the thralls, who must have made their 5 up work.
5 up. Yep. So yeah, like I said, he's retreated that Bastildon out just to keep it safe for one more turn. You don't want to lose one of your pieces on your opponent's turns, obviously.
No.
And he's not going to do any damage to the Leviathan because Jordan fights first.
Exactly, which is very, very big here. So we're gonna see, yeah, because that's the tough part. Like Jordan holding back here. Now this is trouble because you're going in turn 3. Everything's gonna hit you first. So that's where it's smart, getting those Bastillodons out, hopefully to hurt that. But now still this turtle has a lot of life left. Yeah,
Yeah, and
look,
it's a 2-up save. Yeah, so he's used all defense with the Leviathan, so it's going to be a 1-up save. And interestingly enough, as well, the turtle is giving +1 save to all the Namarti around it as well.
yes, and +1, doesn't he? He's +1 to hit as well, right? That's why I know
+1 to hit.
the
Yep.
Reavers are still on 2s in Unleash Hell, which is just zonk. So good.
Threes. They're on 3s.
It's wholly within 12 though, but I imagine he has the reverberating carapace, so increasing that by 3 inches, I think. So what goes to 15 inches?
No, I
Wholly.
think it's 18. It just moves it from 12 to 18.
Is it? Oh, it used to be.
I
I
believe so.
thought it was just +3, but
That used to be the thing. I could be wrong. I haven't
someone's gonna go in the chat and say, Carl, it's 15, okay?
I haven't deep doven the Deepkin.
Here you go. How many can we get more?
Right,
15?
15.
15's in the chat
Yeah,
for
okay,
Carl.
15's for Carl. I get it. I'm still in the 2.0 brain, I guess.
I think it was 15 and 2.0.
Is it?
I think
Maybe.
so.
Okay, no, I'm getting more 15s here. Okay, I'm just gonna shut up now.
After I just told everyone how much knowledge you know about the other armies.
I just hate elves. Okay, I just don't even. I don't even want to. Oh my god, Fjord is just going crazy.
Yeah, all the 15s.
Um,
I've just played Jordan so much with Deepkin that all these rules are ingrained in my brain.
yeah, I just tend to block out all the beatings I've gotten from Jordan's Deepkin, so I don't remember anything that happens.
Yeah, all of
You know,
AOS too.
yeah,
Fun.
yeah. Stories
So
are
what?
told that I've actually only played like 3 or 4 games against Jordan's Deepkin.
Yeah, I remember at Red Harvest when you charged into him with your Ironclad, and you had the vortex close to him,
Yeah.
and you couldn't avoid it. You had to get near it, and then you rolled the 6 to do D6 mortal wounds to yourself. Rolled the 5 to do 5 mortal wounds,
Yeah,
and
and then blew
destroyed
up
your
my
own.
own Ironclad. Yeah, I do remember
Oh,
that.
I'll never forget that. That was like early on, like my first GT or something. That was a
Yeah, and I just
years
looked
ago.
around like, what do you do at that point?
So good.
Oh my god. Okay,
Troll
here's
Carl
Nick
in the
Ray.
chat.
What's 12 plus 18 divided by 2? 12 plus 18 is 30. 30 divided by 2 is 18.
You got it. I thought
No,
he
it's
was getting.
15.
I thought he was getting you with the bed miss. I was like, okay, Carl, brackets first, brackets first. Nope. Okay, it's gonna be the same. Never mind.
It's 18, okay? It's 18 in my heart and in my mind.
Yeah. So what's happened here? The Skinks split shots, so they did have to end up splitting. So they did five damage to the sharks, 2 damage to the thralls and the boats, because -1 to hit on the skinks that's just rough. The Fusel of Conflagration did nothing, which happens a lot. 1s and 2s do nothing. I've also though done 6 mortal wounds, and then the following turn rolled the 5 up again, or the 6 again, and then did 6 mortal wounds again.
Yeah. So this is an interesting play by Pat here. He's going to charge those skinks into the sharks at the bottom there. Jordan's gonna be able to fight first.
Yeah, that I don't know. That if they have a 6 up save, that smells like a lot of dead skinks to me.
Yeah, I mean a lot of the damage that the sharks do is 2, so it's gonna be
If his plan is that he can hold them up, because they are -1 damage, right? So if he holds them up, then he will be able to make it so that the sharks either have to retreat and then not be able to shoot, or they have to sit there and finish the skinks. So I imagine that's what he was thinking in that situation.
Yeah, just to put and hold, because like I said, that left objective is fairly unassailable now. And so with this play, it makes it so that Pat can start to divert resources into that center point, because those sharks, like we were talking about in the previous turn, are strike force to take that left hand point if he ever leaves it. But because the skinks are now proactive in holding them up, he can divert the resources into the center point, because it's all going to be all about who takes that center point. Yes. Jordan has the right hand point. Pat has the left hand point. Now it's an all out battle for the center one.
And the thing is that Jordan still has his 3 big hammers still on full wounds currently. Like having both of the 2 packs of sharks and the turtle. That's some of these games with these top end armies comes down to who can keep their hammers alive further along and then win in turn 4 and 5.
Yeah.
That often will happen. Jordan actually
he hasn't lost very much either.
No, just thralls and reavers, and that's something that will, that comes up when you're running so many tens of thralls and reavers as well.
Yeah, because it's going to be because he's lost 5 reavers in that central right behind the boat. He's lost 2 thralls who are inside the boat.
He said there's 6, so there's currently 6 in the boat.
Okay, so he's lost a couple more there. But yeah, so and then on the right hand side, he's lost those reavers. So all in all, he's probably lost
another
15.
Yeah, another rare thing you're going to see here, people, is Jordan is rolling different colored dice. You will never see this ever in your lives. So
really that's true. He usually just rolls Season of War dice. I don't know. It might be a superstitious thing, or
his Team Canada dice, or his
Team Canada dice. Yeah, but they're always the same colors.
Oh yeah, never. Oh, here you go. I had to differentiate the unit leaders who got +1 to hit.
Okay.
There you go.
Yeah, but there's 3 colors there, Jordan. What's the other color for?
Olivier 456 only. Oh, I feel like that's always gonna just be the best.
Yeah, that and taking 45 minutes to deploy will always be 2 things that we have both been. Well, no, you weren't part of the other one.
No, I wasn't there.
I've been part of both controversies.
I heard though, obviously.
We'll skip through that. If you want to know more about the controversy, you should listen to either Party at the All Points or Rage of Sigmar.
Yeah, there's new Rage of Sigmar out. Joe said earlier today.
Yeah, but not about this tournament. It was about him catching up with the lovely Jacob Berry. Okay, so the engine killed 3 thralls inside the boat, so there are 2 left. So miscounted there. The skinks use all-out defense because obviously you want them to pin and hold, but the Alopex killed 8, so there's only 9 left there. So you don't get the +1 attack anymore.
Oh, but that's not. He wasn't going in there, I don't think, to be able to be doing damage here, because there's no possible way that would happen. And even killing 8 skinks, that's still like -1 damage with all the sharks.
Yeah, but looking at it now as well, it's like you want to kill the one shark because one shark, like the other shark, is close to dying. So if you're able to take him out, like I'm not sure if the skinks are going to be able to do it.
To kill the shark? Oh
Yeah,
no, there's no way.
no, one shark, just to limit the output, right? No,
Yeah,
I
okay,
think it's
maybe.
taken some damage in the shooting phase, so
From
it's
previous
possible.
turns, yeah.
Yeah, yeah. So hopefully the shark does die here. So
Yeah, it's still the Moonstone clubs are so good in combat, and that's one thing that people always underrate, you know. But like you said, when you're under 15 models, only having one attack, that's kind of the big difference. Now, if his Skink Chief was still alive, you could give him +1 attack, but he is
dead.
dead.
Yeah,
But also, that's in the combat phase, which is, yeah, he can't. He had to do all defense for any of them to survive.
yeah.
Although, did they have? Oh, they must have had +1 to save from the 3 up. So it was worth it to do the all out defense because then they would still be on
On
sixes or
sixes.
fives.
Yeah, yeah. Um.
So
So
it did kill. Yeah, so it did kill a shark.
yep. In the end, yeah, the thralls did do 3 damage to the engine there. The skinks did 6 damage to the Alapex. So it
So
looks like
six
there's three
damage is
wounds left. There's 3 wounds left on the Alapex. But the thing is, on the fight on the subsequent turn, Jordan's still gonna be able to attack with that one shark first. And I don't know if whatever skink unit is left there is able to survive or
yeah.
able to kill that one shark
And what
afterwards.
happened with the thralls did 3 damage to the engine, so the engine's got 11 wounds left.
Yep.
The engine dealt no damage to the thralls. That's always
-1 to
fun.
hit, +1 save,
That's right.
plus
Yeah,
2 save.
yeah. +2 save, so he'd be yeah, yeah. So that makes sense. And then we're now just seeing Pat pull away a bunch of skinks because
He has 0
he has
CP.
no CP left. Which
Yeah,
this
that's
army, one thing I found more than anything with Thunder Lizards is everything you need takes CP. In an army that generates a ridiculous amount, you can still always get through it. It's
yeah,
crazy.
it's still dice, right? In
Yeah,
terms
that's
of
that's why I take guidance on my other skink priest just for another 4 up for the
yeah.
CP. But
And
still,
oh my god, we're getting spam here.
oh no,
Okay, I'm gonna remove it. Yeah, give me a second. Hey,
Jordan's
we made it.
Jordan's on it.
We made it big, guys. We have our first
First spams in the chat.
first spam.
You know he
We're
made
big
it.
enough, guys. They think we have money. If you want the best adult dating site, go to bestcams.fun.
No, don't give him advertisement now, Carl.
No, I'm not. I'm just kidding around here. Um, um, with that being said, yeah, you still have to roll those 4 ups for the Slan and the 5 ups for the Skink Priest, Star Priest.
Yeah,
So on a turn that you need it like this round, and Pat didn't roll particularly well in those CP generation. And
yeah, it hurts.
he has
He
to use
was,
the Warlord battalions, the double Warlord battalion. So he had 2 extra CP more than what he would have had.
yeah, and
And he
he did it
still
in earlier turns, which the usually you want to use them in the turns that you know you're going in.
yeah.
Looks like Jordan now is because that stupid Soul Reaver has survived. He's now rolling out his Delure Light to return models, and that looks like a 5 to me. So now 3 more Reavers are coming back. Fun, fun.
Yeah.
Oh
Again,
God,
that Soul Render has brought back what,
Or-
nine models or
yeah.
so
I
over the
said
course of a
Soul
game.
Reaver. Yeah, yeah. Soul Render.
Soul
You're right.
Render.
Yeah,
Yeah, yeah.
yeah,
Um, assistant ref says that we should blame coach because we said only hands, and that's what triggered the spam from from coming to get us.
yeah. Yeah. Le best
Uh,
cams. Her baguette. Ha ha.
um, yeah,
Yes.
so it'll be interesting to see what Jordan does here now. Um,
Yeah, so we're going into Deepkin, bottom of 3. Yeah, so now when Pat says not killing that Soul Render was super annoying, I It's just ridiculous how annoying it is if you don't kill
Oh,
him
there's
or
Jordan's head.
finish the units off.
Um, yeah. So the turtle, he's gonna go for Savage Spearhead, and because the territories are in half, it's fairly easy to get both that turtle, and those two sharks that are on the rightmost side onto past that halfway point. You can do it even, doing combats, charges, that sort of thing.
Yeah.
Um,
So the Soul Render failed heroic leadership. The Skink Priest succeeded with heroic leadership, so he's gonna have at least an extra CP here. And this is the other reason I don't. So he ran the general. His general is dead now as well. This is the other reason that I always run my Slan as the general.
yeah, because he's never get it really targeted.
No, he's in the
He-
back, and it's like if you're shooting the Slan, you're not shooting important things that are up in your face.
So yeah, turtle. He only had one CP to play in his turn. Maybe I think he generated one extra, so two. He was
Yeah,
only able to get two, so he needed to use it on the all-out defense.
for
Um,
sure. Which he did it properly. Which yeah, it's
yeah,
just he didn't have enough.
because they're
And
gonna
here,
die if you don't all-out defense, right? So
and that's a big heroic leadership from the Skink Priest to be able to, at least issue something this turn. Um, so yeah, now we're seeing Jordan move. He's moved that turtle just up to outside of 3, but just nipping the point, which he's going to charge anyways. But
yeah,
you never know when you roll those snake eyes.
yeah, he's gonna
Um,
he did go for Savage Spearhead. See, this is where Jordan and I differ. I'd be rubbing my hands. I'm like, this game's going well, and I would go with
Bring it down.
bring it down. Yeah, on the Bastildon.
Yeah, it's just risky. He was also able to do it I imagine he's doing it with that the low 10 because it looks like he's just barely over the half edge there.
Yeah,
So if Jordan, he obviously well, anyone that
he probably
playing this,
measured
you're
prior.
100% measuring that prior before you're making
You
that.
said like anybody would, but here's where we
Well,
bring
any
back
of these.
moment where I try to measure with my eyes, and then I'm not with enough.
Oh, I love you. I love you,
Uh,
Carl.
love you too, bud. So those two sharks are gonna go into the engine, of course. That one, it'll be interesting to see what Jordan does with that bottom shark. Whether he starts to nip at the left-hand objective to prevent those Saurus warriors from going into the center. Because once he cleans up that Bastildon, um, and that engine, like Pat is going to be hard pressed to take that middle objective back.
Yeah, it's
Um,
bottom of 3 here. There's still, 2 full turns in this game. Jordan's down 7 points. So, he's in a good spot to score a bit here, but like we said earlier, I think it's the turn 4, 5 are what these games tend to come down to, and he's got a
so
lot of his pieces left. What's
yeah,
up?
so that one thrall that survived popped out of the boat here. Um, so he's gonna be able to take the unleash hell if that's what Pat wants to do with the CP. Um, and
Where is the single thrall is just above those
in
2
the middle,
sharks.
yeah, he just popped out of the boat.
Jesus.
Yeah, he just
Yeah.
popped out of the boat there. So and in that case, like that single thrall, he's not gonna obviously spend the CP to kill a thrall, because that would be a waste. He's probably gonna use it for the all-out defense.
Yeah,
But
he's
that
just
doesn't ensure.
not gonna get Unleash Hell, that's fine. The Bastiladons with Unleash Hell, unless you have the Herald of the Old Ones on them, they're hitting on 5. So it's 3
Yeah,
hits,
but it would be significant to maybe bracket the turtle back
2
down.
through it, 2 through it -1. He's on 3 up save. I don't think he brackets him.
Yeah,
It's not worth
you
the
never know.
CP.
Yeah. You never know. But this just closes the door. You never know with dice. It could spike one way and spike the other way.
Yeah, I
Um.
think he's probably much better off if he fights at top bracket with the Bastiladon, but
Yep.
also he could get roared. So yeah, you never know with that too.
So it's a lot of the skill in this game and a lot of the um kind of what Jordan does so well is risk management. Like dice could fail you at any point, right? And
Yeah.
just don't open the door yourself for those instances. And so having that one thrall there means that possibility where some crazy stuff happens where the Bastildon does 8 wounds for no good reason because you failed all your saves and he hit and wounded with everything. He just closes the door on those big instances, right?
Yeah. Now we're seeing Jordan fully pump into this engine with the Reavers here, which looks like a really good roll. Only 2 misses on the wounds. So it looks like it's what, 11 through, -1.
And this
Could
is
be.
this is the this is all the soul renders work. Because those
Oh
Reavers
yeah.
were what? 3 left at the end of turn 1, where they got hit by Comet, they got hit by the Realm Shaper, and now they're back to almost full strength
Yeah, and
and
he's
did 7 wounds to the engine again.
and the engine did do all the defense, but yeah, the Reavers did 7 damage to him there.
Yeah,
So he has the engine's now on 3 wounds left.
yeah. He's trying to shoot the Leviathan into the engine as well. If you can take out the engine in the shooting phase, then charge those sharks into the second Bastildon, that would be chef's kiss.
Chef's kiss.
Yeah. Like Turtle was saying, a big part of what makes Deepkin so good is being able to screen out and um allow those heroes to survive for a few more turns. Because a lot of small heroes in the game have some big impact effects, but because they're 5, 6 wounds, it means that they're just shot out fairly early in the game, and you only are able to leverage that effect 1 turn. But because of how Deepkin's Forgotten Nightmares, and you have to shoot the closest unit, it just allows you to just leverage it for longer and longer.
Yeah. Oh, the
Ex-
craziest thing in this game is I feel for you, Pat, is he failed Comet twice. It's unbelievable that soul render should have been dead. You know what I mean? Like that's one of the biggest things in this game
yeah,
is him surviving, which
yeah,
is rough.
yeah.
Um, but either way, so it looks like Jordan's made a charge here. I don't know he's deciding where he
I
wants
think,
to put
yeah,
the turtle in.
yeah. Well, I think the big decision point is: do you bring in both Bastildons there, or do you just bring in one? Now, again, my crazy good measuring skills is telling me that is not 3 there.
I would imagine he would actually want to tag that other Bastiladon because he's not going to do any damage to him. It depends on if he's charging the sharks in or not,
Yeah,
which I think he would charge them both. So tagging that Bastiladon is not the worst. He's not going to do much damage to you. And then
yeah. I keep forgetting.
he has to shoot the turtle then, right? So
Yeah,
I don't
I,
know if and
I do forget how not great the Bastildons are in combat. What is it? 4 attacks, threes, -1 D3.
so close, Carl, so close. 3 attacks.
Okay, so even less. So
Yeah.
yeah. I would just bring that guy in all day,
And
every
and
day.
you're not worried about him shooting because it's -1 rend, but
Yeah,
it still could do some damage though. But also he might leave it out because it is the bottom of turn. So, you know. But I imagine Jordan I don't know. I imagine he would tag him. But yeah, so we see that so the sharks did go into the engine as well. Um and we're probably going to then go into
combat. Yeah.
no to monstrous actions. What
Oh,
did
yeah. The engine stomped the single thrall. He's done his work.
nice.
He's prevented those 2 sharks from getting stomped.
Yep.
Um,
And then did oh no, because the Leviathan is in Hunters. Yeah, so
yeah.
never mind. So they can't even do anything to Leviathan. I wonder, did the Leviathan roar? Or did he? We don't have that info. He must have done something to. Maybe he did.
Or he could have forgotten because he's so excited.
Yeah, maybe.
Yeah.
Or he just did Titanic Duel. And as you see, Jordan, yeah, so he did pile into that
Yeah.
second Bastiladon. So he's
Ooh. He split his attacks first of all. And
so
what do we see there?
he is attacking. Hold on, we're seeing the rolls here with Pat. So what do you go? Yeah, so he's splitting with the Leviathan.
Yeah.
Because that top Bastiladon only had a couple wounds left.
Yeah. No, but did you see what he rolled, Ridge?
No, did he roll a 6 to hit? Is that
Yes,
what?
he did.
Oh,
Yes,
so
he did.
that's what 6 mortal
6
wounds.
6 mortal wounds flat.
Oh, okay, so then we're seeing Pat roll out the 6 ups. Yeah, so that'll just kill him flatter if he doesn't roll.
No, he was able
Yeah.
to do the
So there
six
you go.
mortal, but
Yep,
he
yep,
did the
yep.
6 mortal wounds on the non-wounded Bastildon.
Are you sure? I thought the top one was the wounded one.
Yeah, the top one is the wounded one, but the bites went into the bottom Bastildon, and so the 6 mortal wounds went
Uh,
into him. So you didn't even have to fight that 1-up armor at all.
wow, nice.
Yeah, so it's very very fortunate that he split. I mean, Jordan probably said, "Hey, if I get a 6 here, I don't have to fight the Bastildon's 1-up save." And then the rest of the Finns and the Riders and all that went into the wounded Bastildon, and he was able to kill it.
Yep.
So that
And
that
we can see,
Bastildon is very hurt now. First of all,
yep.
and second of
And
all,
now the sharks
hit
are going into the Segi.
yeah, because he fights first. Everything.
Yeah, so this is going to be bad news bears. Looks like he took him down, and there's that single die roll for the rectrices, and he rolled a 1.
Yeah,
So, yeah, that item can be really good or not do anything.
yeah. This is yeah. I mean, it's won you at GT, so you can't really.
Not that item specifically, Carl, but another item in the Seraphon book that also does the same thing. Yes,
Ooh,
has won
I
me.
have two items that make me that allow me to.
That's right, buddy. The God Beast pendant. Yes,
Yeah,
fucking great item. Saved my slant twice.
yeah. So, the sharks do have the dragon rule, um, the dragon coherency rule, which
Oh,
means
that's
that they can be within 3 of each other instead of 1. So that's what you're seeing here right now with the two sharks being split so far apart.
yeah.
There we
What
go.
did the sharks? So did he already pile them in, or he piled them in
No, so
before attacking the engine?
The reavers killed the engine.
Oh, it was the Reavers that
Yeah,
killed the engine. Oh, okay.
yeah, which is again like reavers with a +1 to hit and +1 to wound, still can do some work.
Yeah. Wow.
Because the incandescent retrishes just bring you back with D3 wounds, right? Or full wounds.
No, sir.
Full wounds? Oh my
14
god.
wounds.
So I think what Jordan was trying to do in the instance that you do kill that engine of the gods with the reavers, then you can use the sharks to put some more wounds on it if it came back. Or does it come back anywhere
Right.
on the board?
No, no, that you're right. That's probably what Jordan was doing.
Okay.
That's
You
smart,
just come back
smart
in the
play.
same place, yeah.
Yeah, yeah, he just comes back exactly where he was.
Yeah.
You don't
So
even you don't even move the model like Pat did. He just rolled the die right away.
yeah. So with all of those attacks, that did 3 more damage to that Bastildon, and we're seeing Pat's rolling those 3 attacks.
He did it really quick too. Like he rolled the Rector die like immediately after. I always like if I have that, I'm like,
Oh yeah, just see
okay,
him and
here we go. You ready for this? Here comes the 4-up. Here we go. Just like
maybe that's why you get that's why you
no,
get it at a
just
4
a
up.
big dick play that I do.
I win if I roll this 4 up.
It's like what
Such a
Jordan.
rich.
No, it's what Jordan always fucking does to me is when it'll be like, okay, 5 dice left on a ward save, or
Oh,
like
then he'll roll
he
one at a
needs.
time.
Yeah, he always does that. It's so annoying.
He doesn't do that in tournaments. He just does that in game
Uh,
game.
I wouldn't put it past him.
Maybe he's playing one of us.
Yeah, maybe.
Um, so it looks like just finishing the turn here, and you know he's gonna get 3 points, 2 for the middle and 1 for the one on the right. His battle tactic, um, a monster kill, and the battle scroll. Because isn't the engine a
Yeah,
or the
no, no.
Bastildon with a solar engine is a priority
Prime
target.
prime target, yeah, yeah.
Yeah, so you're gonna get an extra one there too. So, oof.
Yeah, so that's gonna be a big score. That's gonna tie the game up.
Yeah, 7 points for Jordan in that, and it looks like it's gonna be, you know, basically Jordan's in the driver's seat here. Um, and it's interesting because like the way this game has swung from the beginning, where you know Pat summoned 20 Saurus Guard turn 1 to now in turn 3 where most of his army's devastated. I we didn't really talk about our predictions. We kind of just jumped right into the game, but I would have said that the Seraphon player Pat here um, had the big advantage going into this game.
Well, it's I don't know. It's the way the points are and the way the battle plan, possibly, yes. Um,
Not
the
just that,
way
-1 damage against Deepkin is
yeah,
just a
yeah.
massive effect too, right?
It is, yeah, yeah, for sure. And just I don't know, just not getting off a couple of the spells. There's so many little things that can just go either way that just hurt him so much.
Yeah,
But also just a few of the things, not like not able to utilizing the skinks. I don't know. The game's not over. We can chat about it quick after, but
yeah.
um
I mean, think about the cascading effect of not casting Comet's Call.
yeah, which
Those
yeah,
two
that hurts.
times. One, the Soul Render's alive, right? Now that the Soul Render's alive, the Soul Render brought back models to the Reaver unit. The Reaver unit was able to put quite a big dent on the engine, and in combat able to kill them, which allowed the sharks to pile in, which means that Pat doesn't have any space to take that middle objective from Jordan. So
Yeah.
that's like a 3-turn cascading effect of just that Soul Render living. And that
Yeah,
only
which is
happened
massive.
because Pat wasn't able to cast Comet's Call.
Yep. It's huge for sure. And positioning was big here and just the amount of damage. Not killing those hammers, not killing either the two packs of sharks and the turtle. Like it, man, the turtle's going off.
Yeah, but
And
like how do you deal with the turtle as kind of
the
a Pat
skinks,
and this?
the
Yeah,
skinks with the mortals, and I know, but it's like exactly. There's it's we could talk forever about it, but
yeah.
yeah,
Like the skinks move 8
yeah,
and shoot 16,
yeah, 14 with the rune of charge.
24. Yeah. So, Jordan gave, Jordan put his turtle quite far, and his turtle moves so fast, shoots so long that he can dictate the engagements, right? He dictated when that turtle went in, and he dictated um the combats that he's in. The skinks never were close to the turtle at all. He was
Yeah,
able to
which
use that both pretty effectively, the thralls pretty effectively, and the shark at the bottom to just threaten Pat enough where he couldn't ignore it either.
he stayed away. Yeah, he stayed away. Jordan, he's played the game once or twice. He's pretty good at this game. He knows positioned well and kind of stayed far away, but then went in when he needed to, and
Yeah,
not winning the prio. But yeah, so well
yeah, he's
let's
lost every single prio, right? As well. So
yeah.
let's get into
So Pat,
Pat's turn.
he went for Savage Spearhead here.
Yeah.
Um, the Slan and Star Priest both generate nothing, so good start. uh, low
Um.
t- low 10
Yeah.
use heroic willpower, and the Skink Priest use heroic leadership. Cool. The Slan cast Comet's Call. No way, he can.
Woo! Um. It looks like
Deal
the Soul Render is dead now.
dealing 7 mortal wounds and killing that fucking Soul Render is finally dead. Pat's probably very happy, but very sad that it took till turn 4 to kill him.
Yeah, the Realm Shaper went off as well and did 2 more mortal wounds on those Alapexes. Um,
Oh, it
yeah,
actually killed one then.
yep, yep. The
Nice. That's
Skink
a
Priest
solid.
fails to cast Blaze of Starlight, which is the -1 to hit and D3 mortal wounds.
Ooh,
Uh,
close, Carl. I was very happy and surprised that you knew that it was the -1 hit spell, but it
yeah,
doesn't do D3.
does it do D3?
No, that would
Okay,
be awesome.
never mind then. -1 to hit.
-1 to hit though, yeah, which is still really good. But he failed it anyways.
Yeah,
But the
yeah,
Slan cast Mystic Shield and the Source Warriors again. So now in Pat's situation,
yeah. What do you do if you were in this instance?
you go and try to kill that shark and take that middle point back. Um, I would imagine
Do you keep that bestowed on in?
ah, I don't know how many wounds does he got left. Looks like an 8 or
Because
a 6 or
he's
something on
he's
that
taken
D20.
six mortal wounds, right, from just the bite.
Okay. Yeah, it's risky because you can't fight a top bracket, right? Because of the he
Roar.
could easily roar you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So the turtle's taken 7 wounds right now. So, hmm,
But he has no way to mortal it, so it needs to take like 9 before it he's still on a 2 up.
yeah. So the Slan tried to do Stellar Tempest. The priest heals the bestowed on for 2, and then he casts Bless on the Source Warriors.
Nice. Yeah,
Um,
so this is where you're reaching for stuff, and this is Seraphon can they still have game, right? Like there's always
yeah.
with these Source Warriors he's got, like he's going to be able to hold points.
Yeah,
He's got to put
Starstone staff,
he's got
Serpent
to
staff, all the staffs.
on the Source Warriors, and guess
Yeah.
what? That's the greatest thing. It's not those aren't Skink's keyword. Well, the Starstone staff is, so he can't get the +1 to save, run, shoot, and charge, but he can get the 6s to wound, do an additional mortal on the Source
Yeah,
Warriors,
and then you
which
have
won't.
the club attacks. You have the bite attacks. You have quite a bit of
Yeah,
profiles.
hitting on 5s though won't do much.
Not great. Yeah.
Trust me, I know now because I've tried to make them work. Which there's a lot of attacks. It is nice having the extra attack. So if you can get them the +1 to hit and the reroll 1s to hit, then you can push through lots of dice so that you can roll those 6s to wound.
So
But
here's where it is. That bottom shark is dictating the things that Pat has to do. So instead of
green it out. He's
swinging the Saurus warriors closer to the center point, the other 10 Saurus warriors onto the center point, he has to screen out that left hand point quite heavily, because that shark will do some work, as we've seen.
Yep. Oh, he is. So he is retreating the Basti. Staying outside 3. Now he's gonna have what, 5? Oh, what's in the boat still? Jesus, is there still?
It's 10 thralls.
Oh
Or
God,
sorry,
yeah.
10 reavers. 10 reavers.
That's bad news. There's fucking 10 reavers in there.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's gonna be rough because there's no way he's gonna be able to get to this right point.
Yep.
So yeah, this is gonna be rough shape. He's gonna just try to score his battle tactics, which he already has with Savage Spearhead, and then
Yep.
and
The
then
Leviathan redeployed. A mighty 1-inch.
just to get closer to the point. So just to block as many Source Warriors can get on the point. So Jordan was probably hoping to roll like at least a 3 or something there.
Yeah. To just be within 3, and so you
Prevent more Source Warriors from getting on the point. But at this
that,
point, the 10 Reavers in the boat are just going to do it themselves.
because I think the shark is tagging. There's a Saurus warrior still within combat of that shark, right?
Oh, there are multiple. There's one right in front of the shark.
Yeah. There's glare on my monitor. I couldn't
Okay.
see
Yeah,
very
there's
well.
one with like half inch from the shark, and then the other 2. But
Okay,
either way.
Rich, just because I can't tell difference. I can tell that that's combat. Okay, that's
Okay. Back to diagnosing Carl's ocular problems.
um yeah.
Yeah.
So, and then turn 4 is retreat and charge. So you don't really care if your opponent charges you, because you can dictate whatever combats you want. Like if he piles in those Saurus warriors closer, Jordan could potentially retreat and then attack the left hand point, leave the turtle in the center to scoop up those Saurus warriors, and
No,
then
he
now he
wouldn't
has
even need to. Turtle would wax those Source Warriors if they pile in 3. If they get within 3 of that turtle, they're dead.
yeah. I mean, if he doesn't, right, he can attack that left hand point with both shark units, which, those Saurus warriors that are on the left hand point might not survive against that kind of output. Combine that with the 10 reavers that are in the boat, right? So
Yeah. Yeah, he's going to obviously be going for some type of play here because
yeah,
score-wise, there's no way
I
he
think
can
it's
get that middle.
desperation. Yeah, as much as it is a tie going into the round 4, I think Jordan has quite a bit of an advantage now.
So he's rolling out. What is he rolling the charge? Yeah, he's rolling a charge here. The Source Warriors probably picking if he can roll something big, then he might go in.
Hmm.
I can't tell what that is on the dice, but it looks like the one of them's a 5. Because yeah, it's all about like staying close, right? Too, it's differential. So looks like he's
Yeah.
measuring it. Yeah, so he has rolled the charge with the Source Warrior, so he's got them into the boat here.
Hey, Reg,
What's up?
are you watching the stream video, or are you watching your video? Because you're on delay here. I'm way ahead of you.
You are correct because we are watching what everyone else is watching here, Carl. So all the Source Warriors are into
I'm
the.
confused.
We'll talk about
Jordan,
after.
Jordan, message Reg. He's not doing it properly.
So
Um,
either way, the Source Warriors are going to get into the boat, which there's a bunch of Reavers in there. They're gonna shoot him.
Yeah. So Unleash Hell, taking out 7 Saurus warriors. That's pretty significant. I don't know if yeah. Again, in Pat's position, you have to just basically go for home run plays. Um, trying to trying to scrape as many points as possible, hold up Jordan's big anvil or big hammers as long as you can, and try to scrape out a victory right at the very very end. Um, so again, if Pat was ahead by quite a bit of points, I don't think he would make this play of charging those Saurus warriors, but because he's gonna start losing quite a bit, um, going into Jordan's turn 4 and 5, he has to make this play, and unfortunately it didn't pay off. Losing 7 Saurus warriors on his turn.
Well, Reavers with Unleash Hell, like you said earlier, it's just ridiculous the amount of
Yeah.
damage they can do with just because you're within 9 or whatever it is, so they get the +1 to hit. And then the turtle, even if they're wholly within 15, which I don't even know if he was with that, but still killing 7 of them. Starting a rough spot. So
What do
yeah.
you mean within 15? You should be able to use your deductive capabilities.
Yeah, you're right. That ring is 12. So yeah, he's definitely wholly within 15 because he's probably
There you go.
yeah. You're right.
Lotan is still alive. He is hiding where that building is. You can see that the building is quite green, and then you'll see Lotan's kind of white, and he's just tucked in.
Yep.
15.
Fjord
That's right,
Gamers
Fjord
wants
Gamers.
to remind you, Carl, that is 15.
I do know it's 15. What I wanted to know is that boat wholly within 15? Now I can't tell.
It is for sure. Yes.
Yeah.
So
So
those throws would have been. It would have if there were 8 of them. Yeah, they would have been 2s and 3s.
yeah,
-1, all 7 dead.
yeah.
I
8 of them would be 16 shots. Yeah.
I think they would have had. I think one of those units had +1 Mystic Shield too. One of the 10s, Source
It's in
Wars.
the middle one, the one that's the darker colored Saurus warriors that are engaged with the shark is the one with the Mystic Shield.
Yeah.
It's
Oh,
the one
okay.
with all the gems there.
Oh, duh. Yeah. The one that has all the gems. Makes sense.
Yeah. So the Leviathan again. This Nautilus -3 rend is doing quite a bit of work for Jordan. Now I actually haven't seen Jordan play with the sub faction at all. Prior to this tournament, he was running more of Morphan, I believe it is, which allows you to bring back more Thrall units.
Yeah, Morphin's the Reaver or the Namarti heavy
The
one.
Namarti
Yeah.
heavy one, yeah. So Jordan went with Nautilar here, and Nautilar is really giving him a lot of utility. That turtle has been MVP, I think. Well, the Soul Render, of course, and then Turtle second.
I I think the turtle's first still. I think I'm still giving it to the turtle. He's
Yeah,
been doing
yeah,
work this
yeah.
game, man.
He's killed the chief. He's killed the Bastildon. I think you're right.
Yeah.
Did 6 mortal wounds on the other Bastildon.
He's just posing such a problem for this, right? Like they can't do anything into that turtle, like
But
other than those skinks.
that's what's interesting, right? Thunder Lizards has a big problem with high armor save stuff. The skinks, the 30 skinks buffed up with the serpent staff is your only tool to remove something like the turtle.
Yeah, and
Um,
honestly, I think if you get all fully shoot into him with 4s ruling 1s, 5s with 6s doing mortals, then you fully charge him, and then 3s ruling 1s with 4s and 6s doing mortals, the amount of 1s the turtle would roll, plus all the mortals from the shooting and combat, I think you take him down. But
yeah, but
again,
that also like just think about how much output you've dedicated to kill that turtle. If you put that much output, the thralls, the reavers,
well,
everything,
that's
the
how much
sharks.
output. That's one unit fully activating in one turn.
No, you
That's
mean the skinks. But again,
yeah.
because sorry, I misspoke. Because you have to dedicate that unit into the turtle.
You're
Jordan
not shooting other things.
but
Yeah.
Jordan identified that early, right? So he's put the turtle diagonally towards the right hand side, away from the skinks.
Yes,
until
and
he
he
had enough time to whittle them down where they weren't dangerous anymore.
for sure, and it would have been very difficult to shoot him because yes, there are they're closer units. So when he finally brought the turtle out, the skinks were on the far left. So
Yeah,
Jordan knew that as well. So he definitely.
yeah,
Oh, I know, and I'm not saying it's easy to fully shoot the turtle and then charge him, and because Jordan obviously is staying away from mortal wounds with that turtle as best he can.
yeah,
So for sure, it's a tough spot to be able to deal with the turtle.
yeah.
And then same with the sharks because you can't shoot. Like just literally the shooting the closest is very very good.
Yeah, it's a
Um,
control aspect of army. Like the output is good. It's not insane. Especially there we see the sharks now, attacking that undefended point. Because Patrick had to commit into the middle because he would just lose a slow game, meant that the left hand side is now open as well, for Jordan to attack. And round 4 is retreat and charge, so he couldn't even pin down those fast attacking units.
yeah, and he'll be able to just pick off a couple people from the points to score. Looks like Jordan's went for bring it down, so he's going to try to
Yeah.
that turtle get him some more extra points, which is obviously smart with differential. He wants to win by as much as he can.
Hmm.
Um, yeah,
Yeah, so I think the if you're trying to learn how to play Deepkin, Jordan's a very good player to observe, um, especially kind of in kind of the tournament setting, the tournament mode. I think Jordan has a switch. Battle reports obviously he tries to play as best as he can, but there's a different side of Jordan, and we see it here with how tightly he has played. He has made almost no mistakes, from what I can see. Um,
yeah. Well,
but
other than not bringing his boat on,
yeah,
pretty big
except for
mistake.
that, except for that.
But it
Um,
didn't really matter that much. But yeah, I agree. With the channel, we still try to like talk about like what ways you can do things and learn and kind of teach and whatnot. But you're right. He does play a different in tournament mode. It is like yeah,
it's a
it's
different step upwards.
yeah.
Um, y- I think if you're trying to learn Idoneth, I think the play that most exemplifies what you're trying to accomplish as a Deepkin player is that move with the sharks. Because me and you both thought he was going to throw those sharks in a more attacking position, but he moved them backwards, closer to the bottom of the map, which simultaneously threatened the objective and made Pat come out of the objective, so that 2 turns after he's able to assault the objective because he's come out of that castle, right? He was heavily castled on that left-hand objective, and people are probably gonna roast me for saying that left-hand objective is unassailable, and Jordan's never gonna take it because Jordan is now taking it.
Wait,
Um,
because you said sail.
uns- yeah, okay, Rich, I'll give you that one. Um, but you know what I mean. It the movement backwards accomplish those 2 things, and those 2 things are now what has put him in this position to attack the left-hand objective.
My balls.
What?
My
Oh yeah, there he
balls.
is. I was like trying to look at the chat to see where my balls is, and there he is. My balls. You miss us diagnosing my medical problems.
Y-
Um,
Yeah, if you want
people
to hear about
yelling.
Carl's vision, turn
Uh,
back about 40 minutes.
Also, me trying to do math and people yelling 15 at me.
Yep.
All those things you can see again if you turn back and watch this video again.
Fun stuff. So what's he doing here then? He's just gonna clean up, go in, kill stuff, hopefully take down the Bastiladon with the turtle. Hopefully fails his roar so the Bastiladon can fight at top bracket. That's the only thing I want to see.
Yeah, but the Piston fighting a top bracket, I guess it's a save that you're doing it for more so than the offensive output.
Well, yeah, Carl, that's exactly what I mean. He's not gonna do anything to the turtle. But I still, even with the 1-up save, the turtle can still probably take him down. What
Yeah,
does he
with the
got? He's got like
-3.
6 or 8 wounds.
He has 6 wounds on him, so Bastillons are what, 10 wounds?
Yeah, look, you're getting some credit. Nick said, honestly, the math was impressive, Carl. Credit where it's due.
I I mean, that was pretty easy. If you give me a harder math problem, I'll try to solve it. Math is one of my strongest suits, and that's not because I'm Asian.
In no way is it because of that.
With that being said, it looks like if Jordan can wrap up that Bastildon, it's pretty much game over.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, looking at it now, it's pretty much game over. But
Oh, Johnny Franco's got a tough one for you in the chat, Carl.
1+1. Gotta take out my TI-85 calculator here. Shout out to TI-85.
You're not that old, are you?
Texas Instruments, baby. What do you mean I'm not that old? Of course I had a TI-85.
Yeah, I guess that makes sense.
1+1 = 2. Um,
You gotta get it out there.
yeah. The Leviathan did roar the Bastildon.
Boo.
So no 1+ save for you.
No 1+. And has he survived?
Yeah, assistant ref. My balls did also miss the best webcams in the
Hold
internet.
on.
Also, the only hint.
Hold on. Your balls missed what? The best
I said my
webcam?
balls. My balls.
Yeah, as in your
He
balls.
missed. The Leviathan did not kill the Bastildon, as we erroneously pointed out, even with the roar. But the Leviathan does use all-out defense, so 0 damage, like you predicted, Ridge.
Nice. Fucking love that shit.
What is this?
Am I swearing too much? I don't know if that's
I
too
mean,
much.
that's just you. I think Jordan is just
Sorry,
he
kids.
he knows you're gonna be swearing, so maybe he's gonna put PG-13. Well, it won't be even PG-13 because he's sworn more than once.
Yeah, I have.
So 14A, I guess. I think that's still
Is that a
a
thing? I don't know.
theater rating. Yeah. One time I got carded for a 14A movie. Yeah, I didn't have
When,
my parents.
like last year? Or...
I was like 21 by that time. The guy thought I was less than 14, which is great. He was 7 years 7 years wrong. Oh, Nick right here is still asking me math questions. 80,012 minus 7, that's 80,005, brother.
Ooh, nice. Please tell me that means something. It like spells something.
Oh my
Please.
god. Oh. It spells boob. No, actually, no.
Yes.
No.
Boobs.
If it was 80,008, that would be boob. No, 80,005 is not anything. So, joke's on you, Nick, right?
No, it's BOOOS. Booze.
Booze, not boob. Or boobs. As you need an 8 there before the 12. There you go.
There you go. Yeah. 85. That's what he wanted.
Well, watch YouTube ban Nick, right? Because of that.
Iconic play. Yeah.
Yeah, Olivier here is making some good points. He's also a very good player as well. So he's making some salient points while we talk about 80085s. Um, but other than that, yeah, Jordan unfortunately has left that Bastildon alive, which means he'll fail his battle tactic.
That would be amazing. Well, not really, because yeah, he's going for differential here. So did he actually? So he failed to take him down. He
Yeah,
went for the
he
risky play.
failed to bring it down. Yeah. So,
Wowzers.
but Jordan fully controls all objectives, so he'll score those 4 points. So he'll jump up to 20 here.
Now in this situation in this tournament, that usually really
Here's
hurts. So
the priority roll. Pat rolls a 5 and Jordan a 3. Jordan, as he always does, loses the priority rolls. He's lost every single priority roll in this game, and he's still doing quite well. I think at this point, they can top that return.
They're gonna at this they're at a high like a good enough level where they can definitely even just board state. This is an easy one.
Yeah, there's only the Slan, the Bastildon, and the single whatever that is on the very right hand side. I don't even know, a skink priest, skink star priest of some sort.
On what so the Star Priest has actually retreated and ran to the right point, the Skink Priest that he had around.
Yeah,
So he's
so
gonna score the one, and I imagine he's just rolling out his casting to see if he can take down probably whatever's
yeah.
left,
Oh,
shark
yeah,
or
he's taking a conqueror, so he's gonna try to kill that guy. Yeah, I imagine he has something behind that building that we can't see. That has the point. So he's gonna take conquer turn 5, score those battle tactic points, and score the one for the left hand most objective, and the one on the right hand most objective, which would give him 4 points, putting him at 23. And then Jordan will just sweep basically over and do a battle tactic, kill the Bastiladon with Solar Engine, um, which gives him a battle scroll point as well. So it's in the grand scheme of things a very very close game, which in this tournament meant that Jordan probably didn't score the highest. So it's a 20-0 system. So if you won by 19 or more points against your opponent, you would score 20, and every differential of 2 basically gives you an extra point. So starting from a tie, which is 10-10, all the way to 19 plus, which is a 20-0. So with it being like, I don't know, probably a 2 or 3 um differential game, it's probably just going to be an 11-9. Right.
yeah. If your math is correct, I don't know. I might need you to get your calculator out. Whatever you
TI
call it.
85. Did you have not played with a TI 85 calculator before?
I probably did. I didn't actually need one. I just could do
I
it.
still have mine actually.
Yeah, I'm just joking.
Yeah.
I probably did.
Out of all the things in my childhood that my mom has kept, the TI 85 calculator has survived. And my report cards from when I was young, because that's when I had the most success.
Nice.
You're like,
Love it. Love it, Carl.
what is he talking
Your
about?
success in your report cards early life. That's what it's all about.
Yeah. So yeah, again, Jordan here, easy enough aggressive expansion. Gonna kill that Bastiladon. So like I said, he's gonna probably win by 2, because he's gonna score the 2 points for the primary in the middle, 1 for the left hand side objective, which will be 3, killing the monster for 4, party target for 5, which will put him at 24 points.
Yes, the priority target too.
Yeah.
Another reason to take the melee Bastiladon.
um, if you think about it in the grand scheme of things, those 2 battle scroll points is probably what's gonna win Jordan this game.
What do you mean? If he wins by more than 2, then no. But he's
I
gonna win.
don't think. Oh, yeah, here it is. Here it is. Okay, he scores 3 objective points plus the battle tactic for 5. The monster and the war scroll kill for 7. I think that's actually wrong. I think yeah. Okay, he wins by 4. Because of the grand strategies. So yeah, so that was a very very close game.
Yes.
So your thoughts on how both players played, and would
I
you
think
have done differently, anything kind of from both players' perspectives?
I don't know. Like the positioning, I think trying to maybe be a little more central. If he didn't flip the tides, you definitely want to score early and try to get into him as early as you can. I think because then, like we saw here, if you wait till turn 3, then he's going to fight first, and you're not going to be able to do as much. Shooting the closest target came up massively as well. So, but if he did play more aggressively, then that turtle might have got into him. So there's a lot of different things that kind of could have
Yeah,
happened.
yeah.
Um,
From my perspective, movement is key in this game, and having things that move 12 and 14 inches just gives you such a huge advantage over your opponent. Jordan was able to dictate when the engagements happen, and he engineered it so that turn 3 was when most of the combats were happening, and that basically meant that he was able to just destroy a large part of Pat's army. And then again, it's the patience, right? Most Deepkin players just want the high tide turn to just go in as early as possible. But Jordan played a more measured game here, plinked with his shooting, and then turn 3 went all in.
Yep. Just wish that Soul Render would have died earlier, but
Yeah, I mean
anyway.
that could have probably swung things
It
to
would have
Pat's way.
changed. It would
Yeah,
have
for
changed for
sure,
sure.
massively. Those Reaver units, that Reaver unit, sorry, shooting multiple times at full strength meant that he was able to just play a more measured game. Again, shooting makes your opponent have to come to you.
Yep.
And because of his speed, he never let him touch him in bad places.
Awesome.
So
But
yeah.
let's wrap it up here, guys. Thanks everybody for sticking around and watching. Obviously, as you guys all know, if you want to help support the channel, the premium membership is the best way to do that, as Jordan says a lot. So yeah, just you can hit the join button below and check that out. Even just liking, subscribing, sharing, telling people all helps. So
Yep.
yeah, with that, thanks for sticking around and have a good week, everybody.
Yeah, we obviously want to grow this channel, bring you more great content. We're trying to get more of these tournament style reports so you can see some top players play and potentially learn from. Pat won the Grand Clash, like we said the previous year with Seraphon, so he's a very, very good player, very, very practiced player. And so again, we want to film these tournaments so that you can learn from these top players. And the best way you can do that is by joining the premium subscribership. So we can do it in more areas of the world. You get exposed to more players, and yeah, and we just want this community to grow and be better.
Big time.
All right, and with that, we want to say thank you for watching. I hope it wasn't too crazy, Jordan. I'm sorry. I'm pointing at my monitor right now. And with that, we'll see you in the next battle report.
Cheers, guys.
Bye.
Cheers.